Is that light good?
All right, and we're live, guys. Hey, welcome to another Tuesday night of Motovloggers, Coast to Coast Live. We have some featured guests tonight. We have Wind.Road.Therapy.
Whoops.
And we have DeweyRides, RoadReality. We have some familiar faces joining us. We got Greg riding Humboldt County. And we got Purple on 3 and Tommy G.
Oh, I had my computer speaker on there for a second, and it just blew me out of the water. I had to turn that off.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining. Looks like we have a few viewers on as well. 13 of you guys. Thank you for joining us in the live stream. I guess, well, let's kick it off with the new friendly faces. DeweyRides, you want to start us off? Maybe introduce yourself, your channel, what kind of bike you ride, just the basics.
Sure. So hi, everybody. I'm Dewey. My channel is DeweyRides, which is somewhere right over there. And I do a lot of kind of travel and scenic moto vlogs, and I ride a BMW F800 and a Suzuki DR650. I also have an old Honda CM450 that I have had forever and ever and ever, and sits in my garage. But one of these days I'll give it some love and it'll be back out on the road.
Nice.
Awesome. Wind.Road.Therapy.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Big fan of this guy down here.
Thank you.
And of course yours, Tom.
Oh, thank you.
Your ADV and everyone else. Hi, Jody. Hi, Tommy. Hi, Greg. And to this gentleman, nice to meet you.
Yeah, I just recently started following DeweyRides too. He's got some cool stuff. It reminds me a lot of Tom.
Mm-hmm.
They do some similar. They do some similar stuff there.
Let's jump over to
I'm not as good of a rider.
Have him introduce himself and his channel.
Hi all, RoadReality. Name's John. I ride a Harley, Kawasaki, 2 Kawasaki's. I like long walks on the beach and short trips around town on my bikes. I do a bunch of stuff on my channel, but I don't have the scenery that where's Dewey? He's over there somewhere. I don't have the scenery that Dewey has, and I just kind of blab at the camera, and you get a stream of consciousness. Dewey said it best like a year ago. He said, I'm the Forrest Gump of motovloggers because you never know what you're going to get. But I'm big fans of all these folks.
He gives you a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah. DaVinci Resolve tutorials, rides, destination rides. I tried the drone stuff, but I think I crashed it.
Yeah, but you won't toot your own horn. You have some of the best edited vlogs out there. Your editing is top notch. You bring it every time.
Well, I appreciate it, Dewey. And coming from you, that actually means something because Dewey and I talk every day almost, and we watch each other's stuff and give pointers or, hey, I really hated that. That was crap. So let me be the first to tell you that Dewey's stuff is crap. No, I'm just kidding. That's like stir the pot.
I blame you because you've checked all of them before I upload them.
Yeah. So thanks for having me on, Tom.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, guys. This is this is our second live stream on this channel. You might notice that Wally cannot join us. He might hop in a little bit later. He has some business to take care of. And we have Greg down below from riding Humboldt County. You might recognize him from last week's show.
Oh yeah, you mean Mr. Jump in a Ditch?
Yeah, Mr. Jump. Well, heck, we may have seen some of you may have seen some of those Instagram posts. After that, he thought it was necessary to get a faster bike, 600. Right? Is that what that bike is?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm still practicing with it, but I haven't done any videos on it yet. The plan is to go out, it's a totally different animal. I'm so used to being on a Harley and leaning back and going into the curves while I'm leaning back, you know what I mean? And now it's like, okay, you've got to change your focus and lean forward and get your weight off to one side of the seat and let it lean even further. And to me, that's just kind of like, it feels so awkward. It's just, it's really strange. But
Right.
so
You have
that's
to learn
why
to
I
trust
gotta,
those tires. That.
yeah. That's why I got the bike that I did. I didn't get like a complete beast of a motorcycle. I got one that was kind of intermediate, more of a sport touring type. You want to, I'd say. So it's not like super fast. It's
This
just
week we kind of have a variety on the channel here. Last week everybody started talking Harleys, and I started falling asleep a little bit. So we have a nice variety of different bikes and riders here. We got of course Jody Purple on 3 has a trike, right? The Can-Am, or I always think it's Can-Am, but it's not. You told me this last week.
It's Can-Am.
Can-Am.
it's a Can-Am Spider.
It's a reverse trike.
Reverse trike. Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So do you have to ride it backwards?
Yes. Yes.
It has reverse, right?
Yeah.
Jody, it has
Yeah.
reverse.
It has.
So you let me take it for a little spin.
Yeah.
And the bad motovlogger that I am, I didn't have my helmet on because we were just in the parking lot, and I thought I would have the opportunity, and then before you know it, we were off.
Okay. Yes.
Missed opportunity.
The picture.
It could have some squirt. That thing's got the same motor as the Aprilia RSV Millet did, I believe.
Ooh,
Oh.
whatever that means.
Dropping the knowledge. That guy.
Well, Dewey, all I can say is it goes fast.
Yeah. It looks
Yes,
like
it does.
looks like a whole lot of fun. I will say that.
It is.
So let's jump
100%.
around again. Maybe we'll go same direction. Let's start with Dewey. Maybe I know some of you own multiple bikes, but let's talk about the favorite one you own currently and why you chose that and why you decided to keep it and keep riding that one. And Dewey?
That's a bit of a weird question because I sold my favorite bike.
Oh, no.
Well, let's go up the desert.
But no, I got the BMW because it does what I need it to do, but it's not maybe the most inspiring bike. And I sold a Triumph Sprint ST 1050 for it, which was an absolute hoot to ride, but it wouldn't go off-road, so it wasn't the thing to have for the camping and the off-roading. And then I picked up the DR so that I could do even more off-roading, and I have a very, very long trip planned in the hopeful future when COVID is over. And so I wanted something simple that I could fix in the middle of nowhere. And so that was the pick for that.
And those two
Dewey,
bikes.
you've grown some facial hair since I've seen your last video.
Yeah, if you go look at some of my really old videos, it was down to about here last year.
Right.
And my brother got married earlier this year, and so they asked me to not show up looking quote unquote like somebody from Portland. and so I shaved it, and I kept it short all summer, so it's kind of coming back now that it's winter.
Right on.
Awesome.
They
And,
do look
Yeah, I don't know though. It's coming in a little more blonde than I remember it.
I'm losing.
Yeah, I have the same problem. Like I got to shave my head now because everything's turning white.
Right, Greg?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it's a interesting story. Not to interrupt you, Dewey, but I've had 4 different hair colors in a lifetime. I was born with long black hair. By the time I was 6, I had long blonde hair. And then by the time I was a teenager, it was dark brown. And now it's turning snow white. Go figure, huh?
It's called life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not gray, it's white.
at least nobody commented asking who let Santa Claus in the live stream. So
You're not big enough.
You got Craig clowning me in the chat room saying I'm turning chrome.
Yeah.
Hey, Dewey, I'm waiting for you to release the videos from Alaska. Now, I know you sent me them from your other channel, but I can't get that channel up on the big TV, and Alaska deserves the big TV.
Yeah,
100%. When is that going to come out?
I don't know, because I did that trip in 2015. And
Right, I remember.
so I've been trying to film stuff, and that was my go-to if the weather was bad over the winter and I didn't get enough filmed. I was either going to, I have that video, and I also have a lot of video from the trip that I did in Morocco. And so
Oh, wow.
between those bits of footages, if I ever run out of anything and need something to release, I'll re-edit those into some chunks and put those out.
I would be totally interested. Eventually we're going to open up, and I would love to head to Alaska.
Yeah, I would love to do, and I need to probably sit down and work some voiceover stuff on some of the Alaska footage, because I only had one camera at the time and it was handlebar mounted, so I don't have some of the best footage with it.
Right.
But there's a lot of really, really good stories that came out of that trip, because I was gone 28 or 29 days to go up there and back. And,
Perfect.
Wow.
and so the people I met and some of the interesting places we found ourselves in and got into are great stories that kind of really add to what happened on the trip.
Now, did you go to Denali and all the major points down to Nome and Anchorage?
I didn't get to Nome. We took the Alcan the entire way, so up through BC Alberta border, and then took the Alcan and took it all the way to Fairbanks. And then from Fairbanks, we went down to Denali, and I actually packed all of my backpacking gear in my backpack, and then we backpacked for 5 days in the Denali backcountry.
Oh, wow.
And then we went down to Anchorage, and then we came back through the Casier, which is the more coastal route and it's a lot less used than the Alcan and a lot more remote. And we came down all the way down through BC on that.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Did you take the ferry back on over?
No, I didn't take the ferry at all.
Okay.
Because, yeah, from here to Vancouver, I'm only about 5 hours or so from Vancouver, BC, if I just pop on the freeway. So I didn't need to take the ferry.
Gotcha.
What motorcycle did you do that on, Dewey?
I did that I had a V-Strom 650 when I did that trip.
Oh, that's Patrick.
Yeah. The V-Strom did everything I ever wanted, and except for it wasn't quite as potent off-road as the BMW is, and that's the reason I switched. Was I had put 85,000 miles or something on my V-Strom.
Oh, wow.
And so it was getting to the point where, when you're off-roading by yourself and camping, you want to know that it's going to start. So
Sure.
for V-Strom, that's not really high mileage, but it was enough that I said I'm going to switch to the BMW. And to make that happen, I ended up selling my Triumph in the process.
What year is that V-Strom, Dewey?
Mine was an 04, I believe.
An 04. Wow, that's a lot of miles.
Yeah. I've done a minimum of a week-long trip every year for about the last 15 years or so. So most years I do between 12 and 15,000 miles or so.
And Dewey's single, everyone. That's how he gets that whole week to himself.
Right, John.
Tons of things. Man.
Dewey, I know this is going back to 2015, but how were the road conditions for that trip?
For that trip, it was mostly really good. Actually, a lot of the road is really, really easy. When you get a little bit farther north, though, so from probably about the time you hit the Yukon in that stretch, because they have such a small window of weather to do maintenance on the road and to do road work, there was a lot of sections where you'd have 10 miles where they had, pretty hard packed gravel, but gravel down because they were repairing stretches of the road. And so you'd stop and wait for a flagger and get a pilot car through the 10 miles of gravel, and then you'd be on your way again. But it's something, and if you're taking your trailer up there and you're towing it with a truck, you're going to have no problems at all.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, well, that would be in the back of the RV, the toy hauler.
Yeah, you'd be set. There was a ton of RVs and trucks and trailers going up that
So
way.
a regular street bike would do okay on the roads up there?
What was that?
Would a regular street bike do okay up there?
Yeah, the guy that I actually did the trip with rode a FZ6, which is, a naked sport bike,
Right.
and he made it all the way with no problem.
Okay. Cool. That's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, you can pick and choose. Once you get up there, if you're on a really off-roady bike, you can find off-road routes that are quite challenging. And if you want to go all the way to Dead Horse, that's a whole nother piece of the puzzle, because that road's a little more. But guys do it on Harleys and they make it. You just got to be determined enough to decide you want to do it.
Yeah,
Right.
that wouldn't be me.
Right.
No.
and take an extra tire, Dewey.
Yeah, no doubt.
I didn't. I got away with it on one tire. I put brand new tires on right before we left, and my total mileage was about 7,100 miles, and the rear tire was getting pretty low by the time we got back, but it did it.
Oh, wow.
I bring a spare tire with me everywhere I go.
Tony.
Well, that's pretty good.
You have one too, John.
Yeah, somebody's got to bring the fat jokes if nobody else will.
No doubt. We lost you for a minute there, Tom, didn't we?
I wouldn't say we
That's
lost
all right.
him.
We
Is
held
that
you
okay?
up.
That's okay.
Issues here
right.
in the building, in the shack. It's not the best connection, but can you guys see me now?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
you
see
froze
you now,
today.
but you were three dots bouncing there for a minute.
Yeah. Is it cold there, Tom?
Awesome. I was on my bike today. It was 55 degrees.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
But we have a winter storm warning coming in tomorrow. Snow all day. That's what it's like here. One day snow, one day sunshine. So
I
how
lived in Boulder for a
Therapy?
couple of years, Tomek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I remember that
About 30 minutes
we could get 12 inches of snow one day, and the next day it would be 55 and sunny, and we'd all be out playing in the snow while it melted.
I was stationed in Fort Carson. Is that anywhere near where you're at, Tom?
Fort Carson. Is that northern Colorado?
I can't remember. It was 20 years ago.
I-25.
I don't remember, but I just know I was stationed at Fort Sill, and then from there we went to Carson.
I don't think that's too far away from me. I know. Well, we have the Air Force Academy down in the Springs.
Right.
That's a big one here in Colorado. Let's
right,
jump over
right.
to Wind.Road.Therapy.
Hi. Who's coming to Daytona?
Oh, I
In the
want
chat.
to go.
Anybody?
I want to go.
Come on. There's room in the
I
RV.
wish.
Yeah. I ride a 2018 Kawasaki Vulcan S, and I tow a 35-foot toy hauler behind my 2500 Ram diesel. And that's how I get around. So this year,
Nice.
back to Sturgis. Tommy and Jody, you said last week you're coming back. You're going to come. You're not coming
Hell
back.
yeah.
You're coming to the campground. That's my third year at that campground. It's a family-owned campground. They treat me so well. They treat everybody like family. They just finished calling me like a week or so ago. They did some upgrades. So it's removed from Sturgis. It's in Custer, which is where all the rides are, majority. And Daytona, Sturgis, out to Key River. If you're close by, come on, join in. But in the chat, I want to know who's coming to Daytona. That's number one. That's the first
What
one
is
coming up.
Daytona?
Daytona, it starts on the 4th, and it goes all the way until the 13th.
March?
Yes, March.
I'm coming down there on the 3rd, so who knows? But
Oh,
down
there
for
you
work.
go.
It's not a leisure trip.
You gotta do another ride share with that.
I know.
I gotta snag myself another scooter. That worked out pretty well last.
And we were supposed to meet up, and I was down for the count. That was just the beginning of it. And I'm disappointed we didn't get to meet, but I'm glad we didn't meet.
Yeah, maybe this next time. We're
Yes.
actually so close to each other. We're like 15 minutes away. I usually go into Clearwater or Dunedin area, but
Yeah. So I'm not going to be in the campground until the 9th. So I'm around.
yeah, I'll be doing cabinets and tiles down there, so nothing fun.
Yeah, no, I'm not in for that.
Oh, come on. You can give him a hand.
I can supervise. I can supervise like this. Ready?
That works. You know,
And that's it. Everybody drinks.
that's all we need. Someone used to do the beer runs, right?
There you go.
Man, I wish I could get out for more than a day at a time.
Dude.
It's like pulling teeth to get out on a bike during the summer. I got
Now,
two
John,
little
I'm not
kids
too
at home.
familiar with your channel. I just described a couple days ago. Didn't really have a chance to see what you're riding. What kind of bike do you own currently? And
Well, I've got a 2019 Street Glide Special, which has the 114 in it, and I do most of my vlogging on that because I wear a half helmet when I do all my vlogs, so the wind is kind of a pain in the ass. But I also have an 05 Vulcan 800 Classic that I bobbed out, and a 79 KZ 650 SR, and I ride those occasionally to vlog, but they don't run as good as the Harley or as fast or as comfortable. So I stick to the Harley mostly, and I commute on it and basically ride around my area and spout a bunch of BS.
You know
and
who,
record it.
you know who has a really good half helmet setup? RoadReality.
Yeah, me.
You know who has a really good half helmet setup for sound as far as audio goes? Is Freedom Rider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't. He told me once what he used, and he's always wearing the half helmet. And he's flying down the road, and he's got his little, lapel, whatever microphone that it comes right down in front of his mouth, but you never hear any wind or anything. It's crystal clear, and he's using a half helmet. So if you just look up Freedom Rider, he hasn't been doing too many vlogs lately, but he's doing mostly just kind of showcasing the new Harley bikes
Oh, okay.
and stuff. But if you hit him up, his name is Tom.
Okay.
Thomas, and he'll tell you exactly what he uses. You can even go look back at some of his videos. Really sounds really good.
Yeah, I've got about a dozen or 24 test videos on my channel of different setups for mic and camera and all that stuff. And I basically test all the GoPros out and see what works and what doesn't. And then in DaVinci Resolve, which I use for editing, I've got a couple of tricks up my sleeve that cleans up the audio really well. So Dewey will tell you, I've gone through quite a few setups to come to where I'm at, and it's pretty clean now. I just about don't need the post-production stuff, but I still do it because it adds that little extra bit of panache, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I've watched his videos, and I wear a full face, and I still can't get the audio he gets.
Yeah.
He also rides like twice as fast as I do.
Yeah, I go 80 everywhere.
One of these days, I'm going to post a video of me doing 80 where it's legal to do so, and you'll hear what the audio sounds like, processed and unprocessed. It's actually surprisingly clear given my setup. But it's one of those things where my helmet is set up, and I'll have to get it out. It's behind me. But it's so set up and so dialed in that I'm afraid to touch the damn thing because I don't want to screw something up and change the setup.
Well, John,
the hardest thing, probably not just for me, but for everybody, trying to get audio quality. I mean, that took me forever. I went with the perfect tandem mic eventually and found a sweet spot in the helmet where I kind of try to get it back there every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't touch my helmet other than to put it on and take it off. And I've got a quick release for the camera so it doesn't screw up the microphone cord, and everything's got gaffer's tape holding it in place. I have a little windshield sometimes that sticks on here with gaffer's tape and blocks a little bit of extra wind from the microphone. And there's like microfiber and zip ties, and it's quite the ordeal. I mean, it took me probably 6 or 8 months to get it dialed in.
To be honest, I've heard most people out there say that they don't mind a wind noise in a video that actually adds to the reality of the ride.
Right.
It's not to be overly concerned about. I used to be kind of obsessed about it myself, and I've had people reach out to me and say that, you know, so what? It's a little bit of wind noise. It's more realistic. So, but you know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to. I'd like to get rid of some wind noise too. I got a bogus helmet. I got a good one now too, but they don't make a good mount for it. So I haven't got my GoPro set up for it. I got that brand new Scorpion.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys check out? There's that new company popping up, chin mounts.
Yeah, they don't make one for that helmet yet.
I went ahead and ordered one of those. My first setup was actually the little GoPro clip, and I jade welded it to the chin part of the helmet.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get creative.
Ghetto setup to work.
Yeah.
Do a review on that, Tomek. I just got a new Arai, and I haven't mounted anything to it yet because I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do it. And that's an expensive helmet to mess around with and not get it right.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
I just bought a new, HGC helmet, kind of lower end, but it's definitely nicer than what I have. So the chin mount is just 3M, pretty much sticky tape. So I don't know how well that's going to hold. I mean, I don't want to lose my GoPro in the middle of a ride, but we'll see what happens.
Tom,
Right.
alcohol, denatured alcohol on a lint-free cloth, wipe down the surface, apply the 3M tape as quick as you can so it doesn't have any chance of dust and dirt getting in there, and then wait at least 24 hours at room temperature, 60 to 70 degrees. Let it fully cure on there. You'll be fine. Knock on wood, I've been rolling for like a year with this helmet set up, and the camera never budges. So
You know what? That works just fine until you run into heavy heat, until you run into a lot of heat, and then it melts right off.
really, because I rode it, it was like 115 over the summer, and I rode no problem.
Really?
Yeah. I just used the
Where-
GoPro adapter stuck to the side of my helmet.
Huh.
Where are you at?
I'm in Maryland.
You're in Maryland?
Yeah, so I was on 95, and it was like 105 degrees, and the asphalt temperature was even higher, and I was cooking. I was stuck in traffic for like 2 hours, and I was dying. I was like, oh God, thank God I have a cup holder. Drink some coffee. It was bad. I ended up ditching off the highway and taking all the back roads, and it ended up taking a half hour longer to get to the dealer I wanted to get to take that route versus just starting on the back roads to begin with. And I was like, I called my wife when I got there, and I was like, well, I'm here. And she's like, okay, so you're going to take your time coming home. You're going to be late for dinner. I was like, I don't know who you are, what you did with my wife, but yes, I will be late for dinner. Yeah, she can be so understanding.
Right on.
She was in my video yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, go to my channel and check her out. I got a couple of comments on there. She was hilarious. So, that was a good video. Part 1 of a series from our anniversary ride. That's
Yeah,
my only plug.
Your wife's way more entertaining than you are, John.
No doubt. It was such a pain in the ass to bleep her out, though, because good God, she cusses like a sailor. And the second part took an extra hour of editing just to bleep her out more.
So, Purple on 3, I heard you might be switching up your name to 4 wheels.
Oh,
What happened there?
She's doing wheelies. I heard she's doing wheelies.
What's going on?
well, I had some surgery. So, yeah, I have a 4-wheeler now. I got my
But Tommy's still there. The surgery didn't take.
You guys should see this thing. It's got disc brakes.
That's fast.
It looked like it had a cup holder on it.
Yes, my friend
Little-
sent me that.
And you
And
know,
a basket, right? It has a basket.
Oh, yeah.
we've had to come up with some different modifications on it because there is no beeper backup. So a couple times I've been run over from behind. So now she has to say beep, 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 so I know. And, she sneaks up on me all the time now because it's whisper quiet, I just hear a rush of wind. I'm like, who's that?
Taken out
Hey,
of context.
Tommy, I knew what was going on this morning. I was kind of talking to Jody, and I told her to drive safe, and she She laughed. She said, "You ever ridden with Tommy G?"
Well,
So I said, "Okay, no worries." I said, "You're good to go."
didn't I text you or message you on Instagram where she got caught with a DUI in the kitchen? She had a wine bottle in the wine basket. I'm like, you can't do that in the kitchen.
Yeah, there's open
Okay.
container laws.
Oh, it's pretty funny. We're gonna do a little video. I've got some orange cones coming. We're gonna set up a little course just to see if she can,
Yeah, purple on 4.
Yeah,
now,
purple on-
right?
Oh my goodness!
I got
Sounds like her scooter has more tech than my Harley.
I would make a Harley joke, but I know we have a lot of Harley people in the chat.
Oh, go ahead, Dewey. We can
Do it. Do it.
Hey,
It's
by the
not-
way, the preamble for his joke is that this is coming from a guy whose bike is best seen at Starbucks. Just saying.
That's true.
So tell your joke.
Oh,
Well,
Penelope. Penelope's in Hollywood. right now.
So Dewey, I got to tell you, I don't know if you follow Motor Ramblings, right, Patrick?
Well, yeah, I love motor rally. Patrick's one of those people. Every Saturday morning, I sit down to watch Patrick's videos.
He's in the chat.
Yeah, he's in
Hey,
the
Patrick.
we got to ride with him on the Tail of the Dragon last year, and he took 2 days off work and rode with us all over North Carolina. It was totally awesome. But so we got to talking. He has that. I think his is a 2012 V-Strom 650, and so I've been looking. And as soon as I pick mine up, we're going to do that Appalachian Trail from New York down through Virginia. And really looking.
Cool.
So your story really interests me about your V-Strom, and yours is an older one, an 04 even.
Yeah. Mine was an older one. I mean, they are one of those. The V-Strom is such an interesting motorcycle because it is really quite good at almost anything you want to do. I would go ride with guys on sport bikes with it. I would go ride with guys on cruisers with it all day, and I would go take it on some dirt roads, and it did all of it.
Right.
But it doesn't really do anything that makes you go, that's what a V-Strom is. It just does everything.
That's cool. All around machine.
How much room for Lego does it have?
Depends on how much luggage you want to put on there. On mine, I had two 40-liter side panniers and a 48-liter top box. So I had a lot of storage for Legos if I wanted it.
There you go.
Right on.
So do you know, Dewey, how much with all your equipment and your bike and how much of the total weight was when you
On the
did this?
V-Strom?
Right. Yes.
Well, I don't weigh very much. I'm maybe $150 on a good day. So
Lightweight.
yeah.
My
But
left
I
leg
think
weighs
I think the
150.
bike was about 550, and I normally pack about 70 pounds or so when I'm going fully loaded for camping and stuff.
65 pounds of that is beer.
Well, I learned that Scotch is a lot more efficient to pack for alcohol to how much weight you carry.
I know. At one point, I had 4 handles of whiskey and bourbon in my saddlebags. I had a box of cigars and all my camera equipment, and I went shopping at the Harley dealer, and I had room for everything on my bike. And I figured, okay, I'm done. I don't need more storage.
That's
But I
all
could
you
have been
need.
gone for weeks. I could have been gone for weeks with that much alcohol. I wouldn't even know where I was.
Yeah.
The ATF would have had a field day with me if I had any firearms.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, absolutely. The V-Strom you're going to have a hoot on it. It's a surprisingly fun motorcycle for what it is, and it's surprisingly capable. It's, and everybody says they're soulless, but that V-twin, I think, is actually a fun little motor for what it is.
Was that a 650 that V-Strom? Or was that a large
The one I had, they make 1,000 as well, but
1,000, okay.
mine was a 650. It's the same motor that's in the SV650. It's just different cams and tuned for more torque.
Well, I found it interesting. I did a video, and I have a 2019 Triumph Scrambler XC1200 in the garage for the winter, right? And so I was just comparing weights, And what shocked me was the weight on that 2019 Triumph is 451 pounds dry, but so is the 2012 V-Strom 650. It's the same
Wow.
weight, and that just blew my mind. I thought the Triumph 1200 would be way more, of course.
I will say that if it doesn't have all the styling cues that everybody thinks of an adventure bike, but I actually think that Scrambler 1200 is the single best adventure bike that Triumph makes. I think it's got the best suspension and motor combination of anything they do for off-roading.
I'll tell you, I've had a blast on it so far. I've yet to ride it this month. We've got some bad weather, so here in a couple weeks, I'll get it back out again and start playing around. But I love it. It's lighter. It doesn't feel like 451 pounds, but it's comfortable. It's got plenty of power. It's got ride modes. It's just a fun bike.
And you have like still you have 10 inches, 10 and a half inches of suspension travel or something. I mean, that it's a very capable motorcycle.
And 3 heat settings on the heated grips. Yes.
Yes, 3 heat, low, medium, and high.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Oh, I haven't ridden since December. This is the first time in like 6 years that I have missed an entire month of riding. It's like you go outside and you look at the road and you get high blood pressure, or you rub a glass on it, you got margarita fixins. It's just ridiculous. There's piles of salt still on the road, and I'm like, dude, that's in my area with all the cagers, that is nothing but a traction loss event waiting to happen. I'm just dying over here. I think we're on day 53 of no riding. We're going to have to start a vigil or something.
Luckily, I don't have to worry about salt anymore. My BMW is officially ruined after a ride in Montana forever. So
Oh man.
See?
I found out the hard way that they salt dirt roads in Montana with the leftover, I forget whether it's calcium carbonate or some chemical that they put down in the winter. If they have leftovers, they put it down because it compacts the dirt on the dirt roads. So I was out riding a dirt road in Montana, and I thought that it was really nice that they put all this water down to keep the dust down so it wasn't so bad. And when I got back after riding it, I realized what it was. And I just had everything is oxidized and turned white all over the engine and the exhaust and everything.
It's because you were gone for so long.
I wasn't gone that long. It happened within the 2 hours of the time that I got back from riding it.
Really? That
Yeah,
fast?
no, that stuff is nasty. It started decaying stuff, and my chain, I ended up changing the chain when I got home because it rusted every one of the pins just almost instantly.
That
I
stuff's
just
like
had my
battery
first-
acid.
I just had my
yeah.
first experience with salt the other day.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah, no
Greg.
thanks.
I'm surprised they salt it all down there. You got, I guess, until you get over to the Sierras, I didn't think you guys got much snow on the coastal side.
Yeah, no, actually we don't very often. But this year we did. It got pretty cold, and it wasn't even that far up. And the thing that kind of sucked about it is that the guys that I were riding with, we don't have any intercom system going, so we're not talking to each other. But I saw their footage and them talking as they went into the section where the salted roads were. And I heard them talking. This is after the fact, after I already crashed. But I heard them saying that they were getting ready to rip. Because, they're all on street bikes. And they're like, oh, we're going to rip this part right here. And then the one guy says, oh, no, wait a minute. We're not ripping anything. And so here I am. I'm going into it like a blind, just pure blindness. And so I had no clue whatsoever that there was anything on the roads. And I found out the hard way. So
Yeah, I'll have to go watch your video. I saw it pop up in my feed. I didn't get a chance to get to it today.
yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I generally don't like watching crash videos. I'm well aware why.
I don't either.
I don't
man.
like to watch it usually.
Hey, Dewey, me neither. I didn't even want to upload that one, but all the guys I was riding with, when they saw the footage on the GoPro, they said, "Come on, upload it." And so then of course after that, they wanted me to do the what happened throughout that entire day with the homeless man beating up his girlfriend and us saving her more or less, and then what happened that day, and it was a bad day for me. So I didn't want to put the video together. I didn't want to make it because then I had to relive what happened for myself. But I made
Well,
it anyway.
heck, you shared that clip with what channel is that? They share a bunch of crash videos.
Moto Madness.
Comments. I was like, oh man.
Doing the fireman.
Oh, the
Dan,
comment
Dan.
section on those videos is brutal.
Yeah.
I got one
Yeah,
of my
it's
clips
brutal.
picked
It's like-
up, and they
It
were like,
happens.
"Oh, look
I mean,
at the pussy on a Harley." Pardon my French.
I know. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon's in the house, guys.
Hey, Brandon.
Black belt bagger. Hey, Brandon. How
Black
you doing,
belt
man?
Let's go,
Bagger.
Brandon.
Hey, we're on the 40-minute mark. Why don't we answer some questions from the viewers? Why don't you guys throw down your questions in the comment section, and we'll answer some of those.
And while we're waiting, I wanted to throw out, I found a channel a couple of years ago, and I was talking to him about, and he's struggling with the YouTube algorithm. But if you guys want to see some serious adventure riders and some serious terrain, the channel is North and Left a Bit. And they are some Australians I know we have some Australians in the house, and they rode from Sydney to London via the stands in China and India through the Himalayas.
Oh,
And with their drone, and they're hiding their drone in their motorcycle to get through China, and just amazing scenery. It's a proper adventure. And as another, we all know the game is, the YouTube algorithm is brutal sometimes, and they're struggling to get people to watch this amazing adventure. So if you get a chance, really go check them out. You will be entertained. I promise. That's
What's
the
it
Dewey
called
guarantee.
again?
Money back guarantee. Everything you paid for tonight will be covered if you don't enjoy it.
Leave a link in the comments, Dewey.
What?
I'm not in the comments section because in the streaming stuff I don't.
Well, what is the name?
say it again, Dewey.
I'll type it.
It's North and Left a Bit.
And left.
North and left. A bit.
I'll have to write that down. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
I
they
got
are
it. I'll put it in the comments.
the production quality and the story and the places they're riding. It blows my mind. And just, he's a super cool guy. And in the comments, he was, talking to me about the fact that they just can't get any traction with the algorithm. He doesn't know what to do. And, I said, I'll give you some kind of shout out. I'm a tiny channel, I don't have much reach, but I'll try.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't sound like Tommy Chung. What's he talking about?
Well, you are from Humboldt County.
I don't do that stuff anymore, roads I've ridden. I quit a long time ago.
You know, until he said it,
I was waiting for that.
Hey, Desiree, stop it, damn it.
How many subs does that channel have?
I think he has like 3,000 or 4,000. I mean, it's not
okay.
tiny,
There we
but
go.
It's 5,000.
yeah, for doing a serious adventure like that, this is itchy boots level stuff. And
Okay.
Dewey, when you said that, that's exactly what I was going to mention. It sounded like Itchy Boots.
Right.
I mean, if I haven't watched her vlog since Africa, but up until then, I watched every one of them, and that is amazing how she gets through those countries the way she does. It's just it's quite the adventure.
yeah, and she's incredibly well traveled and well spoken. Like she speaks 6 languages or something.
Right.
I don't miss one of every video of hers I watch.
I remember that one video where she was like maybe in Iraq or Iran or somewhere, and she decided to find shelter for the night, which was just a few blocks around an old blown out building, and they found her in there and told her she had to move. It wasn't safe. I mean, the story, I'm sure there's some behind the scenes stories that she, hasn't put on YouTube, but just, it's amazing how she travels throughout those countries. I really enjoy watching and learning how that's done.
Yeah, no, she's phenomenal. And, from where she started to where she's at now too, her writing and everything, it's just, it's at a whole nother level. The stuff she's doing now and the filming that she does with it's amazing that she does it while she's traveling at the same time. I don't know.
Oh yeah, very talented.
Oh my God, Big Smitty's blowing me up now. Dude, I can't catch a break tonight.
What's he doing,
Greg.
Greg?
He said up in smoke with riding Humboldt County.
Is this the wrong shirt? Should I have a green leaf on this shirt or something?
No, not at all. Well, you know what? Well, that's where it all comes from, Tommy G.
Okay. Well, I think John. I think
comes from if you have to pay for marijuana where I live, you're doing something wrong.
I think John has something going up there.
It all comes with a prescription.
Yeah, no doubt.
Unless you're in Oregon, it's legal here.
Yeah,
Yep, legal here too.
Hey, Greg, isn't Humboldt County the one where everybody disappears or something? Is that the county?
Yeah, you know what? I did a ride, but this was long before I ever even knew what a GoPro was. And it's gosh, if I could just think of the name of it. It's there's a big grow spot, okay, and it's on a mountain.
Yep.
And I'll remember it later, I'm sure, but we rode it. It's out Highway 36, and if you take it up into the hills, it's a place where people that are looking for jobs go to, that, you know, are just trying to make it. They move to Humboldt County, they leave their jobs, they come up here and they think, oh, I'll go help the grow operations. And people disappear, and because of the vast, you know, wilderness up here,
yeah,
and the lack of, you know, policing and, you know, willingness by the, you know, just, you know, the cops, they can't really do anything about it, because it's just, even if they'd like to, you know, their people are disappearing all the time that are helping out with the grow operations. So we did a ride. We did a ride through this place, and luckily nobody broke down. But I really wished I could remember the name of what it was called. But it's quite a jaunt. And I don't think I'll ever take that road again, because I've never seen so many potholes in my life.
On 36?
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah.
I think
And
there was
36.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say 36 gets sketchy. It goes to like one lane with no center line through switchbacks, and
Yep. 36 is they call it the unforgiving highway, or the highway of death.
Well, the show was on like Netflix or Hulu or something. There was a series about the drugs, and then Humboldt County, and there's a lot of people's disappeared, and it's such like you say, such vast wilderness that you can't really take a search party and, you know, and find somebody, because it's so vast. But there's a lot of bodies buried in Humboldt County, right, Greg?
Right. And you know what? It's really eating at me now, because I can't remember the name of it. I should know it.
Misplaced Motovlogger says it was Murder Mountain was the next.
Murder Mountain.
That's it. Murder Mountain.
Murder Mountain. Thank you. Thank you, Misplaced Motovlogger. Yes.
Yep.
We rode through Murder Mountain, and
come on, Greg, let's do it. I'll ride with you.
yeah, I'd do it again, but you know what? It's not a fun road to ride. It's very dangerous. There's a lot of potholes, and it's just not a whole lot of fun to ride.
Well, I'll have the V-Strom. You'll have something. We'll be all right. Come on, Dewey will go.
I'll do it again.
I'll go. I've ridden 36 a few times, and then
Tomek will go.
What's the road that cuts between 36 and 299? Is that Highway 3 or something like that out there?
Yep.
And that's a fantastic road.
Yeah, we take the 36 and we go all the way out, and then cut across to the 299 and come home. It's a big loop.
We can do that. We can go camping. Dewey and Tomek know how to do that. We'll be fine.
I'll come down.
I'll do it.
I'll go with you. We might get lost.
Yeah.
We might not come back.
How far can you really go? Like, you don't have a left. You can only go up, down, or to the right. It's California.
I'll run the camera bike. I'm used to having 4 cameras running at once now.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Did you not see that video? I ran 4 cameras at once, and it was bonkers. The editing was just a huge pain in the behind.
Yeah, it's rough. I've never run more than 3. But
Hey, Tom, what is it? You have the live stream running on another channel. Which is the other channel? Did I lose you?
The other channel is Junkyard Dadski.
Oh, okay.
yeah, Wally.
Can you hear me?
Where is Wally?
Is he
Hello.
is he
hello.
up and running?
You know, Wally cannot join us tonight, and
Okay.
I do not see him showing up, so he might not be able to tonight. But I did
'Cause I
throw a
think-
link down to the stream. If anybody wants to join, we can take one more person on.
Right, because we have people that are chatting in his chat.
Oh, chatting in his chat.
Yes,
So is that gotcha? So it's two different
correct.
realms
Oh.
going on there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
On
yeah.
StreamYard over here. It
issues.
shows
I'll be
everybody.
right back.
Right.
Yeah, StreamYard shows everybody from both channels commenting. Like I saw Salty and Sprinkles in the comments
Right, but
earlier.
we can't see them.
Right. I have Tomek's chat stream over here, and it only shows the people that are in his chat.
That's good to know because that might be
Right.
confusing in the future if we're doing multiple channels.
Exactly.
Maybe you'll have to take turns.
Yeah, just do one at a time.
Well, the whole
I didn't even know it was a thing.
We'll have to have Tommy. We'll have to
this
have
going.
Tommy G reply
you know,
to the one.
every Tuesday, same time. But if somebody can't host, someone else can take over for that
Right.
Tuesday.
Well, I just went over to Junkyard Dadski and told them that we're all over there at your channel.
Oh. Well,
All
what
right.
other topics
So-
to talk about?
What's that? Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about the rallies and who's riding, who's going to new states. Who I know, Tommy and Jody, you're coming to Sturgis. Who else is going to Sturgis? Tom, you coming to Sturgis?
I'm planning on it. Yep,
And
yep.
you said you camped out in somebody's yard. Is that your
Yeah,
plan
so
this year?
I found a place for $40 a night in Sturgis, just 2 blocks away from Main Street, Sturgis, and I just popped my tent up. It was great. I mean, I just hit the bars at night, 2 blocks to get to the tent, and then took off in the morning.
That's the
So
way.
you pitched a tent? Is that what you're saying? That's
Yep.
the story.
Yep. That's about it.
Who did
In
we
the stranger's
lose?
yard.
Oh, we lost
Who did
Greg.
we lose? Did we lose
Greg.
somebody?
Greg.
All
The
right.
wrong motovlogger
We got a
died.
couple people coming
the
on.
DeweyRides
right now. Let me
story.
bring him in. We got Black Belt Bagger.
Let me in.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Coming back.
Let's go, Brandon.
Well, we have somebody else. Who's that? We have
G'day, how's
we
it
have a
going?
couple of new people. Who do we have?
Bottom left, we got an Aussie joining us. Roads I've ridden.
Hey, Rosa.
How are you, everyone?
Hey, Roads, I
All
read.
right, another
Like Bill
BMW
Bagger.
rider.
Oh, and Greg.
He was here
Okay.
last week just for a short time, but we lost him due to some kind of internet interruption.
I had a phone call and the phone blew up and then I lost everything and I don't know what
All right,
happened.
Mr. Popular. Sorry.
No.
Hey, Tommy, how you going, mate?
Hey, how you doing?
Roads I've ridden.
How are you, Greg?
All right, mate. How you doing?
Good, matey. Did you end up getting that Ninja 650?
Yeah, I did. I'm still learning to ride it. It's like I feel like I'm on a I don't know what to say. It's weird, man.
Hey, I saw you on Moto Ramblings, mate. Not what is it? Yeah, no, Moto Madness.
Oh yeah, well everybody reached out to me and wanted that.
Gee, you
wanted that clip.
You got lucky on that rock, didn't you, mate?
Yeah, I've got several different angles of it now.
Just
but-
where you end up, right where you finished on that crash is that massive rock just there, eh?
Yeah, there was a bunch of boulders I saw in that last clip.
Oh man, you were so lucky. That was real
Yeah,
real
you know what? I
hard to
realized
mess up, wasn't
it knocked the wind out of me. I felt when I fell on my back and I looked at the backwards camera, I realized that it really did take it out of me. But anytime you can get up and ride away from something like that, it's always a good thing, right, Brandon?
Yep, that's right. If you walk away,
it? Is this the
somebody's not
Ninja you
wrecked.
got?
No. That was on my Dyna.
What
There's a 650 Ninja here.
Oh yeah, that's exactly like the one I have right there.
Just had a ride out now. Boys. We just got home.
Nice.
650 Ninja. The brother-in-law, Shano here. Say hello, Shano.
Hello.
He's on the, we got an R3 for that for him.
Have a beer. All right. I had one beer.
Brand new.
How do you spell lasagna?
Lasagna.
Oh wait, let me turn my hat around real quick. Hold on. Can we see that
Oh,
okay?
right.
Oh, nice hat, Brandon. Nice hat.
Garage.
Yeah, I'm in the
check
dining
it
room
out.
right now.
Are
I'm
you
not in
an
the garage.
ambassador yet?
Oh geez, I'm too old for that. They won't pick me. I'm too salty.
Too salty.
Yeah, man. For you guys that don't know, I bought a 2019 FTR 1200S on Saturday.
Oh.
Congratulations.
What did you
Yeah,
get?
Those are bad.
An Indian FTR 1200.
Oh, okay, cool.
Don't tell
Very
my
nice.
wife. She doesn't know yet.
Oh, God, I won't say
Mum's the
what.
word.
That's not a joke.
Hey, Brandon,
I won't tell anybody.
Brandon, you can hide it in our garage. Bring it
Right?
over. Yeah.
Actually, Des, she's over by you. She's in St. Cloud right now.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, there you go. Not too far.
She's in St. Cloud. She'll be back this weekend. I swore my daughters to secrecy. I'm like, you don't tell her. And let's see how long it takes for her to notice in the garage that there's another bike in there.
You got to get on my level.
It was
My wife
such a...
bought my bike.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
she paid for the street glide.
We
Hey,
got,
Brandon, how much do I have to pay you to go through Claremont for me?
I can do Claremont. That's easy.
Yeah, I want
$1 million.
The fight shop is over on Claremont Mesa, so I can always start there and work my way back down through and go into Mission Bay Park.
Yeah, I'd like to go down
up to
Claremont.
52.
I'd like to go down Claremont Mesa Boulevard to Claremont Drive.
I'm on Claremont Mesa. The Indian dealership is on Claremont Mesa. That's where I was on that test ride.
Is that Kearney Mesa or
That was
Claremont Mesa?
It was Claremont Mesa, and I went up and I made a right on Kearneyville Road.
Oh, okay.
And I went over by Pike Gun Center. Yeah, so that's actually where the Indian dealership is. It's like between the 15 and the 805 on Claremont Mesa Drive.
Okay, Fun Bike Center. Did you say
Yeah,
Fun
right
Bike
around the
Center?
corner. Yep, it's right around the corner from there.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. If you just kept going over the 805, and went through Claremont on Claremont Mesa Boulevard, you'd end up running into Claremont Drive. You know that.
Yeah. I used to live right off Claremont Drive when I first moved
Right,
here.
right. That's my old stomping grounds. That's where I got into a lot of trouble.
Oh, I bet. Claremont hooligans.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I know Greg's having some fun acquainting himself with being on a sport bike, but I have a lot of sport bike experience, and I legitimately, the reason why I bought the bike is from the second I got on it to the second I got off it, I didn't stop smiling. I was giggling watch the video. I'm giggling like a little kid.
I know. I could tell. You know what? You know what's funny? I was getting ready to talk smack, and then I had to change my comment because I found out you bought it. So here I am typing while I'm watching the video, and I'm getting ready, and then all of a sudden you said you'd bought it, and so I'm like, okay, let me hit backspace a million times and change my comment. He just bought it.
Like I was telling Salty from Salty and Sprinkles, I'm like, that's what happens when you have poor impulse control and good credit. Like, they see you coming.
Oh, don't they ever? Oh my God! They
Hey,
saw me.
we have one more person wanting to join tonight. We only have a few more minutes in the show tonight. Road Rash HD. Let's get him on here.
Do it.
Oh, that is awesome.
Right.
Cheers, guys. What's going on, man?
Wow. That's the best.
That is the best. You win.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, right on.
Now, how the heck did you do that?
How the heck do you do that?
Hey, I've been around for a long time doing live streams and motovlogs, man. You'll learn a few tricks along the way.
Nice.
Yes, so.
Well done. Very well done.
Is that Beavis or Butthead?
Beavis.
That's Venus.
Okay. I knew it was one of the two.
And I love the cross pistons. That's dope too. That logo's sick.
That's too cool.
Yeah,
Now I'm familiar with everybody here right now except Road Rash HD and RoadReality.
Well, I've been around a long time. You probably just never seen my channel, but I've been doing this for what? I've been riding, doing motovlogs now for 3-4 years.
Oh wow.
Been in the community now for what? 6 years. Yeah, I've been around a long time. I've seen a lot of faces come and go when it comes to motovlogs.
Yeah. I haven't been doing it that long, and I'm not really a moto vlogger either. Brandon's a
Oh, stop it.
a moto vlogger.
A motor mouth.
I am working on something completely different than what I have been doing in my last 3 videos. I took a little ride, and I talked about my accident, and I talked about all the criticism everybody gave me. And then I stopped and I got some just stellar drone footage of Eureka, and I'm getting ready to upload that tomorrow. So
Nice. Looking forward to it.
something mellow, something different, something just, yeah, something that's not so crazy as all the damn chaos with the sport bike acting.
Maybe.
Well, Greg, we look forward to your drone stuff.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
So good.
Thanks. This one's even better.
Oh.
Dude, all your
I'm learning how to
so
fly
cool.
it now. I'm actually learning how to fly it instead of just making it go up into the air and then make turns, because there's a difference. And I even talk about it at the end. I give some advice to people that, unless you've got a Skydio, which will do it by yourself, but if you're a moto vlogger and you want to like stop and then have real successful shots in between your rides, you have to be willing to take days out where you're not going to ride and then just throw the drone up in the air for a few minutes and call it good. You have to get in your car or your bike or whatever and spend a day and go out into an open field and practice flying, become a better pilot.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The more I fly my drone, the better and easier it gets, and the footage is just amazing. The angles you can get, the perspective.
Right.
And I'm terrible about putting the drone up because of the time it takes when I'm out riding.
Yeah, I know. I am too.
I carried a drone on a 7-day off-road trip, and I flew it once. And I'm like, why did I carry this thing for the whole thing?
Yeah, I see a lot of people ask, should I get a drone or should I get a 360 camera? And I always tell them, get the 360 camera, you'll use it more.
I can see that.
But when you get that drone shot, that really good drone shot is just so cool.
Oh, yeah, and especially if you can time it to music and have like the pan out where you're flying away from yourself and have it timed to the music. It pops in a video.
Or you do a whole video like Tom did where you have the Russians chasing you.
Yeah, that was killer.
That was a good one.
That was my first video with that drone. I think I pushed it to its limit, though. I'm surprised it didn't crash.
I love your drone work.
It's supposedly autonomous, but I don't trust it 100% yet. I've been
I wouldn't trust the drone 100%.
I've been trying to mess with it about every time I go out, just so I get familiar with it for this next riding season. I can't wait to really take it out to some of these mountain passes and film some really awesome stuff up there. But
you need to plan some time, Tom. I'm going to be out in Wyoming, Montana this year, and I Googled it from where you're at. It's about 600 miles, but I'm going to go ride Gravelly Range Road this summer.
When about are you going to do that?
End of June.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
But yeah, it's supposed to be a ridiculously beautiful dirt road.
Sorry, Dewey. I'm breaking up on my end here.
Yeah, you cut out there. I saw you freeze. I said you need to plan. I'm going to go ride a dirt road and.
Oh, his audio's cutting, I think.
Yeah.
Tom, you there? There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're good.
you guys hear me now? I was kind of, everybody was kind of,
Yeah.
I think it's my end here. Back roads, what is it, BDR?
Yeah, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to ride all the way to Wyoming and then do the BDR. But I've always wanted to ride Gravelly Range Road. It's a couple 100 miles through the Gravelly Range just west of Yellowstone, and it looks incredible. So you should come out and ride it with me. We'll go camp for a night and hang out and get drunk, and then try to get on motorcycles the next day.
I've done that.
Please notice, I can get up to northern Wyoming in about half a day. I can go
Yeah.
all the way to the state line there. Well,
Yeah, I looked. I think it was between 500 and 600 miles from where you were. So it might be a long day for you to get up there.
yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah, I've done
definitely.
the whole drink all night
plan
and try to ride
something.
the next day. It's hard. It's kind of like get the bike up to 10 miles an hour and let it stay.
That's how Sturgis was for me this first year. Every night was like midnight. Then I got back at 1 a.m. Then I met some more friends at the campground. Then it was 2 a.m. And every ride just became more and more grueling the next day. So maybe this next year I'll take it a little bit easy and try to enjoy some more of the riding.
If Des wants another Alaska story, I have a really good hungover riding story from my Alaska trip.
Hungover,
I'd be
you say,
cold
huh?
up there.
Oh boy.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? I was telling the guys the other day when we went on that ride. I said to them, I said, guys, I said, for a long time now, I've been using the cameras and the motovlogging thing as an excuse to ride. In other words, like, okay, I don't really want to ride, but I might capture something cool. And so that's why I go riding. And it's supposed to be the other way around.
It is supposed to be the other way around. I find
it is supposed to
I
be.
don't have my GoPro with me as much as I ride all the time. There's times you just want to ride, do not want to have to worry about talking to the camera or making a video. You just want to go out and enjoy the ride.
Right. I just recently experienced that. I just left the cameras at home, and I found out that I had a hell of a lot more fun.
I only take my cameras when I'm filming. If I'm not planning to film, I don't bring a camera.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the same here.
Yeah.
My camera stays at home. I used to record all my videos, but I would just end up coming home, throw them on my computer, and I'm like, well, I didn't really say anything and nothing really happened. Throw it in the garbage, right? And then all of a sudden my recycling bin's getting full of all this footage. You have to empty that all out because all of a sudden my hard drive's getting full of crap, right? So
Your startup disk won't work.
yeah, it's just, you just get to the point where it's just, and then it comes to a point where like, damn, I should have brought my camera today.
Yep.
You see something really funny,
Exactly.
but you don't have your camera with you, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I remember one day I'm riding home. I didn't have my camera with me. I'm riding home from the grocery store. I'm sitting there at the light. There's this lady on the side of the road with a little dog. The little dog's having a poop or whatnot. And she pulls out a freaking a little Kleenex and wipes the dog's ass. And I'm like, damn, I wish I caught that on camera.
Oh man, I bring my camera on all my rides, and if it turns out to be something that I can watch through without getting bored, then I'll probably post it. But I have a remote on the cup holder on my Harley, so if I get some sort of idea in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I want to tell the people about that. I hit the button, it starts recording all the cameras, and I record for a while, then I stop it and I go back to enjoying the ride. So
Yeah,
I
that's
kind
what
of get the
really
best
need
of
to
both
get,
worlds
is one
there.
of those remotes.
Yeah, GoPro's the remote with the 9 and 10 works so much better than the previous setup with the 8 and the smart.
Yeah,
remote
well, see,
they
I'm
call
still
it.
rocking the 5. I do the Hero 5, and that thing for me, it's been really good. But it has an audio problem that if you just decide to stop the video but keep the power going, and then start the video again, it supposedly loses audio. Mind you, I've never had that problem because I don't stop it. If I stop it, I turn my camera off because I want to save my battery at the same time, right? So
Yeah.
I'll turn the, and it also depends. If I'm wearing my summer gloves, I can do that. If I'm wearing my winter gloves, when I'm riding, good luck, it's not going to happen.
I do.
Hey, did you guys know that YouTube does something to us smaller channels to save bandwidth.
Yeah, they squash your stuff.
Okay.
They'll
You know what that's
Quality,
all
too.
about? You know what that's all about?
Wow.
What are you doing down there, Rose? I'm ready.
You must be in Australia. The guy's a day ahead.
We're getting a live photo vlog here.
Oh, he's not like,
Okay.
Wow. I don't think there's ever. I
I don't think that's
This
a
is a
forte.
first.
think of it this way. That's nice summery weather that he's enjoying is coming up here to North America here real soon, and we're all going to be enjoying that as well while he's all freeing his butt off down there.
Who's
That's
saying that?
right.
We have summer. It's Florida.
Yeah,
Hey,
you guys
Tom,
got
how
summer
to mute
24/7.
that?
Can you mute?
Take
Can
him
you
off for a
mute
little bit.
whoever that is? Can you mute him?
I tried. It's not letting me do it for some reason. So we're
Okay.
gonna take him off.
Right,
Hey,
right.
hey, Tom, you said that you didn't make all the rides last year at Sturgis. What ride did you miss that you really want to run?
All right, so I did. I went out to Badlands.
Do it, Tommy.
Park
Do it,
there.
Tommy.
I did the what is it? Needles Highway.
Okay.
I did. What else was there? Well, here's what happened. I had no plan, right? So
Go ahead.
I went to the campground and I met a couple guys there. We went out that night, and then the next day we woke up. And I just followed them the whole day. So I don't really know exactly every ride I did, but I filmed
Okay.
all of it. By the way, there's a playlist on my channel, Sturgis, all the rides. Needles Highway. I did the one with the 360 loops and the bridges.
Iron Mountain Road.
Which one is it?
Iron Mountain Road.
That one, Iron Mountain. Yes,
Iron Mountain Road.
Which was
I would
so
love to
long
check out that
ago. You
Needles
know,
Highway.
my memory's not that great. So
Yeah. Did you like it? Needles
It
High.
was
Did you do
awesome.
the wildlife loop?
The only thing I gotta say though, during Sturgis, it's so hectic. There's so many bikes out. It's
Yeah,
complete
you got to
chaos.
go a week before or 2 weeks after.
You know
man.
what?
That's
I'm
I
going to
keep
have to
hearing.
disagree. I'm going to have to.
Really?
Yes, there are a lot of bikes, and this year there were. I'm going to say almost double what there was
Mhm.
last year. You know, from 2020 to 2021. But I was there before the rally, during the rally, and at the end of the rally, and then there were more big trucks like my truck, and you can't see over the. If you drive a big 2500, right, and you're towing an RV, you can't see over the hood. At least I can't. And I would rather deal with other motorcyclists than deal with people that are like, oh wow, look at the bison, look at the buffalo, and they're not paying attention to the road. So I'd rather
Yeah.
deal with another motorcyclist than I would somebody that's not paying attention and is on four wheels.
That's one thing I'm super jealous of. When you went up there, I feel like all your videos have all this amazing wildlife. I was up there for what, 4 days? I saw one buffalo. That was it.
I'm one with nature. They love me.
Buffalo. They're just all coming to you like.
Oh yeah, the donkeys.
Of the animals up there.
I know.
Oh,
I
man,
didn't
we
even
get
have anything to
spammed
feed
with
the
harassment.
donkeys. They just came.
Yeah, there's a park you went to, right? What's that? The wildlife.
That's Custer State Park. That's all connected with Needles Highway and with Iron Mountain Road. It's one big loop. You can do it in sections, but it's all continuous.
Yeah, I can't wait to go there.
Yeah. You know, and they have mountain goats, but I haven't seen them. They're there. And I didn't see elk, and they're there as well.
So like you were saying though, I mean, what I mean, complete chaos. There's just a lot of bikers on the road. Just be ready. I mean, you have to be a rider. You got to be like pretty secure yourself and be confident when you're up there because it's just go. Like gas stations, you kind of like you go and you kind of just it's a flow.
But
right?
you know what? That's the benefit of staying removed from Sturgis. And if you're staying near Deadwood, in my opinion, Deadwood was more packed because it's only one little block. You know, did you go to Deadwood? So
I
Deadwood,
had to drive through Deadwood to get to Sturgis. And I was
okay,
like,
so it's
and
more
that day, there was
compressed.
a bike show going on, and there's quite a bit of people.
So at least with Sturgis, you have Lavelle Street and you have Main Street, so you can choose which street you want to ride up and down. Plus, you have the side streets.
Yeah, and just the FYI, you don't have to go Main
Correct.
Street where, you know, you have to do the stop signs and all that. I
Right.
was 2 blocks away, and we can get in and out with the side neighborhoods. So it
Correct.
was,
Right.
we didn't have to go into all that.
So if it's not your game and that's not your city, you don't have to do it. And you can stay far removed from there. Like we went to Badlands, went to Devil's Tower, and you don't have the population. You just don't. And again, I'd rather deal with a motorcycle than deal with a truck and people that aren't paying attention to us.
That's what I did not do is Devil's Tower. How far is that from Sturgis?
It from Custer, I can only see it where it's from Custer. It's
right.
a little bit over 2 hours, but you know when you go up through Sturgis, you know you go up like Vinaka Canyon or Boulder Canyon, or go through Deadwood and go through Spearfish. Then you go across, and it'll bring you into Wyoming, and you pass Hewlett, and you pass the little cowboy town. Is it? Oh, Hewlett. Hewlett is the cowboy town. And then you can go to Devil's Tower. And it just, you know, it's there for you. You can see it for miles and miles and miles. And it's this little thing. And then, you know. But it's cool to see. For sure.
Well, I'm definitely going to try to make it back up there. No plan on where I'm going to stay. I kind of want to go to that same little campground that I was at. Well, ladies' backyard.
Right. Now, Tommy and Jody are coming. They're going to stay at the same campground that I stay at. Pardon?
Is that in Florida?
No, in South Dakota, in Custer.
Yeah, no, okay. I was getting ready to bag on Florida. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
I'm sorry. I was just getting ready to bag on Florida, but
okay.
I was in the wrong area.
Oh, no worries. So, yeah.
It's their riding season right now.
Yeah, that's right.
It's always good riding season there.
Not in the summertime. She gets a little warm, especially if
There's
you're on
probably
the
more
old
riders out now than in the summer. When I was out there in July, that no one was out. It was too damn hot. And now when I went down and I got that Road King for a day, I saw a bunch of bikers out there.
Yeah. Well, we come out after, you know, the sun goes down, or as the sun is going to go down, because the sun goes down at 9 o'clock, 9:30 out here on the Gulf Coast. So you come out. You have.
Hey, Desiree, I was just teasing you because of your comment about California earlier.
What did I say?
What'd you say about California? Oh,
yeah.
You can only go so many places.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't. I'm just saying you can't go left. You hit the water.
Oh.
Well, Des can't go left or right.
I misunderstood.
It depends on what direction. Hey,
on the other side.
If you're going north, you can't go left. You're going south, you can't go right. You know.
You know what I miss about living up here is that there are no straight roads. I can't just get on a straight highway.
Oh, there you go.
Somewhere and relax. There's a gnarly turn everywhere I go.
Sweet. No ice here in Florida.
It's so flat where Des is, she can walk out in the yard and see Atlanta.
What's that, Brandon?
I said it's so flat where you are, you can walk out in your yard and see Atlanta.
I wish. Right? I wish.
Well, hey,
Florida, they see a rock on the road and they think it's a mountain.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, you gotta love that. The roads are pristine.
Hey guys, do you have anything else you want to add? I think we're going to wrap it up here in a few minutes. We're going for about an hour, 20 minutes now. Dewey, you got anything else to say? You're a new guy on the show.
No, I'm good. Unless people have some questions. I don't think we ever answered any questions.
I just wanted to say one thing. I just want to say one thing about recording. You don't have to record in 4K to get super clear footage.
No,
it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of space on your computer.
Yeah, you only need.
I agree to disagree.
You can disagree, but I found a loophole. Okay, and YouTube crushes as small channels. Okay, as the smaller channels, we get a code. We get assigned one of two codes. And you can only see those codes from a smart TV, not from your phone, okay? And it's called Stats for Nerds, all right? And those Stats for Nerds will show whether your video has the code ABC or VP9. There's two codes. All the big channels get the VP9 code, okay? And that's why their videos are crystal clear. All the small channels get the ABC code, which means pixelation, etc., etc. Now, if you're doing 4K and all that and everything, and that's the way you like to do it, then you're going to get the BP9 code. But if you can't do that, I know a way around it, tricking YouTube into thinking you're a bigger channel. So
no, you can do 4K if you want. All you have to do is render it in 1080 because everything that comes off of YouTube is in 1080 anyways. It's pretty rare that they do the 4K, and even if you do get 4K from them, if you don't have a 4K monitor, you're not going to see the full resolution of 4K anyways. If you're only rocking 1080, if you got a 1080 by whatever monitor or a little bit bigger like a 2.7K, you're really not going to see the 4K. It looks a little crisper and clearer, yes, but it's still been down converted to 1080.
Yeah, but YouTube will show you 4K streams even if you have a 1080
Yes, it
monitor.
will show you 4K streams. Yes, but if you don't have a 4K monitor, you're not going to get the full effect of 4K.
Yeah, if you upload 4K, it'll show up in 4K.
I record 1920
That's an
1080p.
interesting topic.
Yeah,
we might have to bring that up next week just because I started recording in 4K just for the heck of it recently. I used to do all my videos in 1080. Like all of you know, it's just much easier on the computer, on the memory and everything.
The rendering's the biggest thing.
Yeah, right. You guys know
I
that
rendered
I've been doing it for a while.
I rendered a video in 4K last night or the night before. And I have a pretty decent gaming laptop here, so it rendered at like 15 or 16 frames a second. So it only took like 15 minutes to render my video. Wasn't a big deal.
How long was the video?
15 minutes, I think.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
So
What kind of computer do you have?
I have an MSI GE75 Raider. If you scroll
MSI makes
down,
some good computers.
Yeah, it's badass. If you scroll way down in my catalog, I have the first test video of it, and I use the paid version of Resolve, so it's using the GPU for a bunch, and it just.
Oh, you're paying for Resolve? Oh, Jesus.
Oh yeah, well I use some of the features that you can only get on the paid version. So
yeah,
Dewey and I, we did the same thing. We both basically got the license like at the same time, and we got the speed editor. So I got an editing keyboard. I'll show it here. So this thing.
Damn, that's what I need right there.
Yeah,
man.
speeds up your editing. It's a lot of fun to use. Dewey will tell you all about it.
I bet it is.
What's that? RoadReality? What is that? Show that again. Can you flip that towards the camera?
Yeah, this is the DaVinci Resolve Speed Editor. They ran a bundle where you paid for this and you got a free license for like a year, and it was like $300, but it's got a jog dial for scrolling through your footage and split and multicam.
That's awesome.
And then transitions and everything.
Wow.
I use it occasionally.
You're doing way too much.
Wow. Dude, I have recently finally hit a level where I'm editing most of my vlogs in like 2 hours instead of 6. So like,
Nice.
I'll tell you one thing though, just so you know, because I don't know how many other guys here on this platform that are monetized. I'm monetized, right? So for the amount of money that you're going to put into making the videos, it takes a lot of work to get that money back. And when YouTube does pay you, when you finally get monetized, you don't get monetized until you've accumulated $100. Once you've got that $100, it'll take about 2 weeks till even a month until YouTube pays you out that $100. And then you have to accumulate that $100 again. And then you got to wait that same time period to get that $100 from YouTube. So that's just so you know, when you get monetized, unless you're like pulling in the biggest views and getting all those views coming in, to get that money from YouTube, it takes a bit of time. So don't expect that money to be like right now. It doesn't happen. You have to accumulate the $100. You have to get the views to accumulate that $100, and then they finally pay you. And that's the only way you get paid. They only pay you in $100 increments, and that's it. They don't pay you $20, $30. They'll pay you in a $100 increments. So once you hit that $100, then you're going to be waiting 2, 3, maybe a month until you finally get paid, because it was, I'd say, about a month after I finally accumulated my first $100 that I got paid from YouTube.
Right? Yeah.
So what you're saying, Road Rash, is I can't order the CVO right away then, right?
No. Don't expect it. Yeah.
No.
You're going to be paying out of pocket before you ever expect a return on YouTube.
Road Rash, I'm familiar with that. I've been part of the Google AdSense program for 12 or 13 years now, so I'm used to that. Because I have an associated blog site that is road-reality.com where I cross-post all my videos and various other things that I decide to write on. So I'm used to that. And I didn't buy any of this equipment to make money. I bought it
exactly. It's a
like
hobby.
fun.
It's a hobby. It's like I play guitar. You can see my guitar rig behind me and stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, we'll pay thousands of dollars.
Hey,
We'll pay thousands of dollars for all this.
Right? Wally's here.
Hey, look, the host.
Hey guys, how's it going? So,
Hey.
Welcome, Wally. Tell us your name. Where are you from?
hi, my name's Wally. We're Junkyard Dadski, JYD. I'm from Chicago.
Be right back.
I was doing my duty as a Board of Education member today. So living in Illinois, we just don't want to get into the politics about it, but a judge ruled that the governor's mandate for masks was null and void. So as a board member, we have to go through the process, but we voted to have masks optional. So kids tomorrow are going to school smiling.
Yay!
And you can see their smiles.
That you can.
Yes.
Yeah. But
So what did I miss? What you guys been talking about? Tell
We'll
me.
start over.
A little bit of everything.
We're going to start over. We're going to do it again.
That's your answer for everything. We'll start over.
I wanted to address Road Rash real quick. You talked about spending $1,000 on equipment. I think my last total was pushing close to about $7,000 in motovlogging equipment.
Yeah,
in the last year and a half.
Easily just on guitar equipment.
Yeah,
you know, we spend, like I said, well, like this rig behind me, and the head alone was like $2,500, $1,000 for the speaker.
Oh yeah,
$700 for the guitar that's sitting there, you know, and then we spend hours and hours and hours practicing, and then load all our stuff into a $500 car to go down to a gig and get paid $50, you know. So that's kind of what motovlogging is very similar to what the musicians.
That's a good analogy.
You know, right?
You know, it's
That's
very
any
similar,
hobby.
but you're going to make a bunch of friends out of it. I know. I did the math. I figured I'm going to be eligible for monetization about 2042. But I got to meet a bunch of people that I wouldn't have met otherwise.
Okay,
And
I'll give you the little trick secret to getting the 4,000 hours watched. Okay, because I got the 4,000 hours watched before I got the 1,000 subscribers, and this is how you get the little tip secret to get that 4,000 hours watched. When Harley Davidson is having a Test Our Metal event, go down and test ride all their bikes and record every single ride.
Oh yeah,
Throw them on YouTube, and that's how you get your 4,000 hours watched.
Yeah,
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did.
Infamous creep just did
I
that.
have 5,200 watch hours watched, but my subscribers, they don't like watching, so they don't subscribe.
Yeah, well, that was my problem too. I had the 4,000 hours watch. I was like, I don't know, probably 62,000 before I finally hit, you know, the 1,000 subscribers. You know, like it takes time, right? You either get your subscribers first or you get your watch hours first. Getting the subscribers sometimes is really easy to do because you can buy subscribers every day, all day long, right? But getting those hours watched is sometimes the hardest thing to do. So if you want to get those hours watched, just go do test rides on Harley Davidsons, brand new Harley Davidsons all day long, and you'll get them hours watched like right now.
So I've got two questions. For Road Rash, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. So actually, it's a kind of a group question. You play guitar. I notice a lot of people actually play instruments. How many motovloggers on here right now actually do play instruments? I fumble around guitar and whatnot, but show of hands, yeah. Okay.
You know what it is? Is for us musicians, we're creative people, and this is what I've always said. I've gone out and I've spent my time playing gigs, writing music, writing my own music, recording my own music, going out and play in every slummy slime ball freaking club that there is around town to get paid nothing. And but yet I want that creative outlook, or be able to be creative and put it out to the public, right? So when I discovered motovlogging, I was like, okay, this is cool, because now instead of putting all my creativity into this back here, I can now get on a motorcycle, slap a helmet on my head, throw a GoPro in front of it, and be creative that way, and still be creative in the same sense, because I'm getting that creativeness out of me by creating videos on YouTube, because that's the new media that everybody wants to watch. Nobody goes to shows anymore. You know how many times I've gone and played gigs and stood on stage and said, "Yay, thanks for the freaking the bar tables and the bar chairs for coming out tonight. You guys rock, yeah!"
But it's those five people in the crowd are like this the entire time.
Yeah, or they've got their arms crossed. They're going, "I can play better than you."
What's interesting is you have the complete opposite view of it than I do, because I've worked in IT since I was 16, and I spend all day looking at a computer screen and typing. And when I'm done with work, the last thing I want to do is look at a screen. I want to go ride a motorcycle. I want to play a guitar. I want to do something with my hands. And get away from the reality that I know and have known for years.
Exactly.
You haven't known me for years.
You stare at a screen all day. I can totally agree with you 100% there, right? But you're still being a creative person, and you're just doing your creativity in a different fashion or form that you would have done in the past, right? Like I said, I got 20 years of doing this guitar stuff behind me. Like, I'm about to sell it all and just like spend all the money on cameras and drones and shit. Right?
Amen. Do it.
Very, very cool. Yeah, and especially, you got to keep one around at least when the
I'm not going to get rid of my guitars. I love my guitars. I'm going to get rid of that rig, and that's not even my full rig. Half my rig's still sitting over at my buddy's place where we practice all the time, right? So one day I'll bring all that stuff home. But yeah, it's just, I'm not going to get rid of my guitars. I still like playing my guitar and stuff, but I really don't have any desire to go get up on stage and perform it. Like, I will do it, but I just don't have the desire for it anymore. I'd rather just slap a GoPro on my helmet and because with a band, you got to get everybody together. They all got to work together on a schedule, blah, 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 blah. Let's do this, let's do that. And, like, somebody's got to drop out. There's just so many variables. When you're just yourself as a motovlogger, you're just yourself. You don't have to worry about four other people: the drummer, the bass player, the guitarist, the other singer who's always got lead singer's disease and off and thinking he's better than everybody else, blah, blah, blah. Right? It's just, you're just by yourself being your own creative person.
Well, wait a minute. In my realm as a motovlogger, I need all kinds of guys on bikes to cooperate with me.
Group rides, that's the whole, group rides, trying to put together a group ride is like trying to get everybody together for band practice. I totally
That's right.
That's why I ride by
I know what
myself
it's
all
like.
the time.
That's why I give up. It's like, oh, you don't want to show up? Oh, whatever. I'm going to go for a ride. If you don't show up, I'll just go for a ride. It's just like band practice. You don't want to show up? Well, the rest of us will practice.
I'm one of those people that doesn't really like to ride alone. That's the more the better.
Well,
That's
yes
just
and no. I was just we just had a group ride on the weekend. We had 8 riders out on the weekend, and out of those 8 riders, 5 of us were connected through Bluetooth device or through our centers that we can communicate with each other.
Right.
I was lead. I was basically road captain, so I was in front, But I got a bunch of people that are riding with us that are not connected voice comms with the rest of the riders. So, we're in the left lane, cars are turning left and stopping, and I got my guys from work that are on Bluetooth with me. They're like, oh, just grab the right lane and let's go. And it's just like, wait a minute, I have 8 bikes that I'm trying to control here. I just can't get all 8 bikes to move over because they're not in communication. If we're all in communication, yes, we could easily move all 8 bikes into the other lane, get around that car, and continue on. But I don't have, you just can't just get people to move all of a sudden into another lane. If and that's with 8 bikes, you're just looking for disaster. And somebody decides that from the back they're going to speed up as 8 bikes are moving over. Yeah, you're just looking for an effed up day. You just can't do that. It's just you have to just stay in line and do your thing, right? So I love group rides, but sometimes group rides can be a pain in the ass if not.
Well, you know what?
In communication.
To each his own. To each his own. If we were all the same, wouldn't it be a boring place to live?
Exactly.
That's all I gotta say. I like group rides. Some people like to ride solo.
Group rides are great if you don't have to deal with traffic.
Yeah, there isn't a whole lot of traffic up here. That's one
I had to deal with a lot of traffic. Once we got through the traffic, it wasn't so bad. But when you're dealing with traffic to get to where you want to go ride, it's a bit of a pain in the ass when you have a big group of bikes.
Right.
I went on a group ride that was 450 bikes. And
Damn.
It was a show. It was organized. They had 150 respondents that had registered, and they had 450 bikes show up on the day. It was across 2 counties in Maryland, and they only had police on 1 county, not the other. So as soon as we crossed into the 2nd county, it just all went to crap real fast. We ended up in 3 groups. There was a guy on a BMW Dewey who was farting around behind me trying to get to his buddy in front of me. I don't know how that happened, but he tried to run me off the road at one point, and I went wide in a corner because we were making a left at a light, and I saw at the last second there was a big pothole, and I was like, I'm not putting my bike in that. So I went around it, and apparently he didn't expect that. He went off in a freaking cornfield and came back on behind us. And then sped past me on the shoulder to get up to his buddy, and I was like,
"Yeah,
it was so bad."
I start getting edgy with 4 riders.
I never went wide right ever.
Yeah, see, when we group ride, one of the things I always tell everybody is once we get into the twisty section, single file. Everybody ride single file, ride your line, and give everybody space. Once we're on a straight road, you get into formation. Right, staggered formation because we ride in staggered formation up here, so you got lots of room to move in case there's potholes, blah blah blah. But once you get into the twisties, single file. Everybody goes single file. Then you got the full road to do what you need to do, going through the corners and stuff like that. That's what I always say.
Look, they screwed that ride up so bad that I won't go on big group rides anymore. I did find a local group that was like 25 bikes. And we ended up doing a few rides a few years ago, and I had never met any of these people. I talked to them on a forum online. I had never met anybody in person. Showed up at 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. I brought a buddy of mine with me, and we spent 12 hours on the bikes, and it was like I'd ridden with these guys my entire life. And they were all respectful. They were all nice. They all rode well. And I had a Kawasaki at the time, and they couldn't care less. They were all on big Harleys, and it was like everybody's best friends. And we ended up staying at a hotel overnight, and I drank an entire bottle of Crown Black by myself, and which made the next day a lot of fun getting home. That was the story I started telling earlier, Wally. It was like, just get on the bike, get up to 10 miles an hour, let the bike handle it. It knows how to go home. You just kind of have to guide it occasionally.
You know,
these guys were so great that when my wife found out that other women riders were there, she was like, I'm going on the next one with you. So she went on the next one with us, and the group leader came over to her and just goes, hey, I understand, Mrs. RoadReality, that you're the slowest rider we have. So I need you to tell me if you're uncomfortable or anything, because we're going to ride at your pace. And I just like, I could hug you right now, dude, because that just made my wife comfortable. She had a great day of riding. And even though there was an accident in the ride, it wasn't us, it was somebody else. It was a great day out on 2 wheels. So, you know, it's all with who you're riding with, and if you can trust those sons of guns.
Yeah, well, that's just it, right? Especially if you haven't ridden with people who got very little experience, especially in group riding and understanding staggered formation and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah,
we had 1,000 riders at the toy run down here at Bird's Barracuda. was amazing. It was amazing. We didn't, and thankfully, only so one guy on a tri-glide, he was off to the side, but I think it was mechanical. I mean, it's a tri-glide, right?
He didn't fall over.
He's not
The
gonna
shade
fall
tree
over.
there?
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Did shade tree show up at that Bert's Barracuda ride there? Right
Yeah,
on.
he
cool.
and Paul Senior led the ride.
Oh, okay. Oh, senior. Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, because Senior has the restaurant that's attached
Right.
to
Yeah,
Bert's
exactly. The
Barracuda.
OCC restaurant. Exactly.
Yeah, OCC Roadhouse. So
Yeah.
he was here for the bike. They had a music fest rally, whatever, in November, and then he was back. He's in the area, and then he was back for the toy run. What do you got, Tom?
Oh no, someone's got to go out of the
Oh.
chat. Saying goodbye to him.
All right, no worries.
Misplaced Motovlogger. See you, Misplaced Motovlogger. Good night.
He did
Gotcha,
make a
gotcha.
comment before he leaves. He did make a comment about 15 grand on Lego. It's only 9. And as I pointed out to my wife, I could have bought the Kawasaki Z900 RS that I wanted.
I noticed
I
that,
didn't
John.
spend it on Lego.
I started following you on Instagram, and I was like, this guy's got a Lego obsession. I mean, you have
Addiction. It's addiction.
addiction.
It's all,
I mean,
it's all of the expensive sets. They're all in
Those
my
aren't
stack
cheap.
and built.
those aren't
No,
cheap.
they're not. I'm working on a Lambo right now that's like, I don't know, $380 retail. And
Oh, I know
it's
that
one-
Lamborghini Lego. I know the one you're talking. I've seen that one. That
Yeah,
was
it's-
actually on that Lego Wars TV show.
Yeah, it's
Hey
it's
guys,
badass.
I gotta go. I gotta get to work. Wally,
Okay,
you want
bye.
to take over and end the stream here?
I gotta go too, guys. Good to see
Get
you.
later.
Yeah.
Grab
So
dinner.
do
you
we.
so much.
See you, Tomek.
Hey,
Thanks.
see you. Thanks for showing up.
Good night, guys. I'll see y'all later.
All
Yeah,
my
nice,
friends
Greg.
are leaving.
Yeah,
No.
thanks for having me on, Tomek.
Is everybody gonna leave?
I'm
No,
going
hang
by
around.
Are
myself.
we gonna call it a night?
I'm
I gotta get
staying.
some dinner.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
having
hey.
a call tonight too and get headed out.
Good night,
staying.
everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for having me on, bud.
Thank you.
All right,
Road
right.
Rash, thanks for joining.
Aye.
All right.
And everybody just decided to disappear that quick, like they didn't have
No,
to.
I'm still
Like,
here.
That's it.
I know
I'm not
they
leaving.
didn't have to leave. Like guys
Tom
didn't have
scared
to
them all
leave.
off.
When this is over, I'm going to record a video for my channel.
You guys, but I'm gonna stay. That worked. That was pretty easy, right?
Yeah. We got
They
rid of the
all take
riffraff.
Get rid of the riffraff. All right, guys, what do you want to talk about?
Oh my god.
Were
You guys
you
are
serious?
great.
You had to go to work?
No, I gotta go. I gotta
Okay.
get things done still. So, Wally, if you want to wrap it up with these guys whenever you feel like,
Yeah.
just keep going. I gotta head out.
All right, bud.
All right.
Tomek.
All right,
See
Take
you,
care.
Tomek.
See you next time. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be here like hours ago.
Well, that's education.
Well,
for you.
didn't you have it running on your side too as well?
Yeah. So figuring out how to do a StreamYard, you can actually broadcast from multiple channels.
Well, I know that you can like send it to like Twitch and shit like that, but you're obviously an approved moderator. I didn't realize you can like also stream it on your channel at the same time as it's being streamed on another channel.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was wild.
we coughed up a little just a little sum of money to get licensed.
Yeah, to get the license. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think we can broadcast up to 10 onto 10 channels.
Oh wow.
So
I didn't know
that'd be
about that.
pretty
I know
wild.
like
but-
StreamYard's come a long way. I remember when StreamYard, before there was StreamYard, we were using Google Hangouts for our live streams before, right?
yeah.
And then Google decided, well, we're no longer going to, support Google Hangouts and YouTube at the same time. So they gave that up. And so then that came out, then StreamYard and then Zoom came out at pretty much the same time. They both came out at the same time, where you could stream onto YouTube, and at the time, StreamYard only allowed 6 people.
Yeah.
Right. And I had contacted StreamYard and I says, why don't you make it so that you can make it so that if you had a paid version that you can have up to 10 people, an unpaid version you could have 6 people. They're like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool. I'm going to send that." The lady says to me, "I'm going to send that to our developers." And sure enough, what happened a few months later? And I know I'm not the only person that did that. There's a few other people that said the same thing, because with Google Hangouts, you were able to have up to 10 people in Google Hangouts at the time, right? And that's why we were saying like 10 people. But see, Zoom took it a step further, and you can, of course, have up to 100 people and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
So,
but that gets unmanageable. I mean, if you're one person
get
presenting to 100 people, I
Yeah.
get that. But to have a productive conversation, yeah, to keep it up to at least 10 here and
yeah, 10 here. Like, I know a lot of people use StreamYard, and I know a lot of people use Zoom because some people use Zoom because they always have more than 10 people, right? So they want to have those extra slots, right? But personally, I prefer StreamYard over Zoom. I've used both. Zoom is cool and everything, but I just like the way StreamYard is integrated with YouTube and stuff, and it just works so well, right? In my personal opinion, you know, so.
Yeah, and for a second go at doing this, it broadcasts nicely. So
it works great. It works really good. You know, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with this StreamYard. Like I said, it's just, I've seen it. It's been around 2.5, 3 years now. I guess StreamYard have been using this for now. So
I think so.
Time flies. It's hard to stay on top.
Time flies when we're all locked down.
Man. It's like,
Yeah, this works well. I was on Black Phoenix Entertainment's live stream a couple months ago, so that's when I signed up for StreamYard. And so it was easy. I just clicked on the link and boop, I'm in, and hey, here we go.
Well, you don't even have to sign up for it. That's the thing. Like, if you just get a link, you can just click the link and join, right?
Oh, neat.
The only time you need to sign up for StreamYard is if you want to stream your own streams, right? With Zoom, you have to kind of sort of sign up, but with StreamYard, you don't. If that link is there, then all you got to do, you don't even have to sign up. You just click the link and you're in StreamYard. You don't.
Oh, nice.
Nothing to download or nothing, right? So,
yeah.
I didn't download anything. I just logged in.
All right, I gotta let my cat out. My cat keeps bugging me here. Let's go, kitty. Come
Okay.
on. Go outside.
Where are you out of Road Reality? You're in Maryland, right? So
I am.
So
I am close to DC.
Oh, so you've got warmer weather coming.
God, I can only hope so. I was telling the chat earlier, I was like, it's been since December that I rode. We're going to start a nightly vigil now because this is the longest I've
really
gone
got that
riding
snow
in
problem going on
6 years.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Gonna have to start burning some sage.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, I'm climbing the walls. I'm building all the Lego. I'm playing with the kids. And I'm just telling
What's
my
the
wife.
temps like where you are right now?
22 degrees.
Oh, damn, that's cold.
Now,
Yeah,
see, this is crazy. So outside of Chicago, it's 40 degrees today, 52 tomorrow, rain, and then it drops back down to freezing, and we're going to get 3 to 7 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had a day of riding, but now you can't ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have so much salt on the roads that I'm actually afraid of sliding because I can feel my truck wiggle.
Yeah.
Fudge,
you guys got that. You'll have salt and sand.
Yeah,
With those kind of
we don't-
temperatures, they don't just put salt down. It's a salt sand mix. I know with those temperatures, so you got grip in the snow, right?
Well, they do the brine, and then they came back with the rock salt because we had rain one day and then it froze.
Yeah.
So we got the rock salt and there's piles of it, and I'm like, dude, I don't need to tear up my 2-year-old motorcycle for this. And it's
You ever
like,
ridden?
Huh?
You ever ridden in the brine before?
I got caught on it in December, and I washed the bike like the next day. So as soon
I'll
as
tell
I
you,
could
that
get to
brine
it,
is slick. It's real slick.
I was.
I live
avoiding
here
it.
in Canada, so I'm like an hour, I'd say an hour and a half north of Seattle, where I am here in Canada. So we get that nice warm weather that comes off the Pacific Ocean. So I'm like the warmest part in all of Canada. Like where it's warmer here in Canada where you guys are in the southern states. And
it's
so like right now, like I think my temperature's up in the 50s right now. I'm probably in Fahrenheit right now. I'll probably just switch it over, but yeah, where it's fairly warm up here. But so I ride year round. The only time I park my bike is when there's snow on the ground. That's the only time I don't ride. So I'll ride, and it don't matter what it is, how cold it is or whatnot. If I can get that bike out and ride it to work, I'll ride it to work because I'm not taking transit.
Yeah.
And so you'll be ripping down the road, and all of a sudden you'll hit the salt brine, and you're going through a corner, and you just feel that back tire wiggle, that front tire wiggle. pretty unnerving, but you get used to it, after you've done it a few times. But yeah, it's still the first couple times I rode in that, it was pretty unnerving. It was just like, damn, that's slick. I can feel that stuff just slipping around underneath my tires, right? And I still got the stock Harley tires on my bike. And if anybody's ridden a Harley, those tires aren't the greatest freaking tires ever.
But they've got Harley Davidson put on the side of them.
You know what?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you this much. So my father-in-law has been riding for 55, 60 years, something like that. I mean, he rode a BMW R90, I think it was, like a 75 model, for 4 years in Pittsburgh, year round. He didn't have a car. He bought a brand new motorcycle, and that's all he did for 4 years.
That's what I did.
So I asked him, and I was like, I'm coming up on needing tires on my Harley, and you're a Harley guy. You've got 5 of them. What do you recommend? And he goes, get the stock tires, because they're engineered for the bike. They're going to work just fine. He's like, I know you're not doing anything crazy that would require anything fancier, and don't go cheap. So just get the same thing. And I happen to like the tires on my Harley just fine.
Well, I'm used to mine too, but I'll tell you, like, hearing stories of the guys that run like the Michelin Commanders, or the guys over in the UK that run all the Avon Cobras, right? And the guys in the UK, their weather is very similar to mine. They get a lot of rain. We get a lot of rain and stuff. And they say that those Michelin or those Avon Cobras are really great in the wet weather and stuff like that. But with my stock tires, those Michelin Harley Davidson Scorchers, now I'm used to riding with them. But when I first got that bike, I remember one time I was making a left-hand turn. I gave it just a little too much throttle, and I got ape hangers and stuff because I'm riding an Iron 1200. I'm going into a left, and I just gave a little too much freaking throttle, and I felt that front tire just kind of slide away from me. Just not give out to the point where the bike's going to go down. Just kind of just lose a little bit of grip because I was just giving a little too much throttle right off the throttle. It made me a little unnerving and whatnot. And that was probably how long? I think I had the bike 4 months at the time when that happened. So I'm still getting used to those tires and how they feel and stuff underneath me. But now, I've been riding that I've had that bike now. It's 2022 now. I've had it 2 years now. I've been riding it. And I've ridden it through 2 winters now. This is the second winter I've ridden the bike through. So I'm pretty much used, and I know what those tires are going to do. So yeah, but if I was to get another set of tires for that bike, I'd probably go with the Michelin Commanders or get a set of the Avon Cobras and try those out just for winter riding. I don't know so much about the summer riding and how much the tires will wear down. Like my Scorchers, my stock Scorchers, I still got lots of life in those tires. Like they have a ton of life in them still.
I had plenty of tread left on the stock tires from the factory, except I don't know what happened because I bought my bike out of a demo fleet at the dealer, so it had almost 3,000 miles on it. Mm-hmm. And at 9,800, it was shelving or whatever they call it, where it's just stepping out, going around corners. They found that the tires were square and they had cupped real bad front and back, and the bike needed actually a bunch of work because I was getting flashbacks to my Vaquero, which I wrecked back in 2018. And I was getting the same, I feel like I'm riding on ice everywhere. Because the cupping, your bike's always doing this.
Yeah, exactly. The cupping is low tire pressure.
Yep, that's what they said. Even though
tire pressure, and then of course flats. You're getting that flat spot and with the little edges. It's because you're always riding straight. You're not going through the twisties. You're not wearing the tires evenly by going through the corners and stuff like that. If you're always riding on a straight road, you're going to get that flat spot on your tire. That's going to cause that as well. And if you got low tire pressure, that just increases that even more.
Well, I think the start of it happened before I bought the bike. Mm-hmm. Because I ride around the corners and I actually lean it into the corners. Yeah. And I don't ride on straight roads very often or very long. Yeah. And it was one of those things where it was doing that and then it had a wobble. And there's videos on my channel where you can see the wobble in the handlebars when I let go.
Wobble.
And it wasn't a death wobble. It was the steering needed adjustment. The front rotors were warped. The wheel bearings front and rear had failed, and
Jeez.
it needed tires. So
Damn, I thought I had problems with my bike.
No, I will tell you this much. They took care of all that work, and they warrantied everything but the tires and the brake pads. And I think I paid for the steering adjustment. And I had them do the 10K service while it was there. And the bike has just been phenomenal.
Spot on since.
Yeah.
I just gotta go grab a beer and go pee, boys. I'll be right back.
You got it.
And the bike just goes down the road. You can watch my videos. I'm playing air guitar, and the bike's not running off the road.
Nice.
The kind of crazy stuff that I do behind the handlebars shouldn't be allowed, but it is. So I do it.
I mean, in Chicago, they've put out a law for the Chicago police to pull you over if you're riding with one hand on the bars.
Well, shit, they'd pull me over in a heartbeat, because I've got how many videos on my channel now where I'm drinking coffee, smoking a cigar, riding with no yeah. I work at a facility and for a client, and one of the client guys found out that I have a YouTube channel. So he pulled me into his office one Friday afternoon. He's like, you look like somebody that wants to scrape his helmet. I was like, dude, you've been watching my channel? He's like, yeah, I had a little nip of bourbon and I watch your videos at night. And we need you around, John.
Don't scrape your helmet. Don't.
Yeah. Well, he's a Harley rider, so
he's
looking for GoPro mounts and stuff because he wants to record his rides. And
nice.
I was like, dude, I got a whole playlist, so go check it out. And there's there's 25 videos on how to set it up. And
what do you use? I use a chin mount. I love that thing.
You know what? Since he's gone, I didn't show it earlier, but I put my headphones back on. The cord for my headphones is only like 3 feet long. So here's my helmet. It's a side mount.
Yeah.
And oops, there was a 3-way in there. But yeah, I use a side mount, and then I've got the Hero 10 hooked on it.
Yeah.
And it's at a pretty severe angle. Let's see. There it is. It looks like it's a severe angle, but it's actually like right there. There's a little rivet you can see, and I show it off in some of my videos. I just touch the camera to that, and that when I'm riding,
that's your mark.
It's yeah,
that's
dude.
Perfect.
I can't tell you how many videos and how many tests I've done to get to this setup, and you can see all the crazy gaffer's tape. This microphone, this microphone right here is off my Cena. This isn't even the mic I used to record.
You know what? Those Cenas have got great noise cancellation. Those mics.
Oh yeah, they do.
They do. But I tried recording it to my phone using an app, and it wouldn't work. It just gave me nothing but garbage. So I went back to the drawing board. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, see the chin mount. It's like they make them perfect for the helmet. So it's like it fits right in there.
Chin mounts. Yeah.
And it sits underneath your eye line, almost actually at the level of the visor where I don't see it. And all I do is just once it's on, I pop it on. Don't have to adjust an angle whatsoever.
I have to adjust mine every time. It falls weird.
I'm using just a stock GoPro one.
Yeah.
Right. And that one there has been on my helmet since the day I bought it, 3.5 years ago. And I've ridden through everything. Like I said, if you look at how dirty my helmet is, that tells you I ride through the rain.
Yep.
You see how dirty my helmet is and stuff, right? I ride through all the rain, the whole 9 yards. You know, my visor's freaking filthy right now. And yeah, and it's just like this thing hasn't failed me yet. That's a GoPro mount. That's just
that 3M mount.
It's the 3. I stuck it on there, and they said hold it on there and let it sit for 24 hours before you did anything, and that's what I did, and I haven't had an issue with it since.
Yep.
Nice.
This is the GoPro mount as well, off the I think the side helmet, one of the helmet kits, and then it just hooks into here with the side attachment.
And you've got the media mount on there too.
Oh yeah, because I plugged my mic into it.
Yeah, same for me.
And then you can see I've also got the max lens mod, because the helmet is here, and if I stick it back into place, pinch my finger, you can see that it's not quite level front to back or side to side. So there's always a little bit of an angle in my videos, but this the max lens mod just keeps everything at least level this way, and you can't tell the left and right very well. So
Yeah, see, I use
Yeah.
one of these. I use the Ulanzi. And
Oh, yeah.
I've got the media brick in it and whatnot, right? And that's just the Hero 5. You know, before I got this used to be the medium, the brick used to be Velcro to the side of my helmet. And then I got this, and it's just made life so much easier right there, right? That their little mod.
I never do anything the easy way. I'm gonna start motovlogging, and I'm not buying a new helmet because I like smoking cigars while I ride. So.
Supposed to be that media mod will work with also the newer, the new heroes that come out, the Hero 10s and whatnot. That should
Right.
work with it.
So they made a Hero 8 media mod. Well, I don't have it here.
I've
It's in the box.
I've got that one right here. Hang on.
Yeah, but they're right. So that's the media mod for the Hero 8. The
Yeah.
Hero 9 one is a little bit different. It's got different microphones, and it actually has a front and back, so it picks up the audio differently. But
Yeah,
the Hero 9 media mod,
That
works
one's
on
got
the
a
Hero
bigger.
10.
That one's got a bigger mic on it. The 8 does have the speaker or the microphone on the back here too.
Yeah.
Right. It
And
has
you
them,
know
but
what?
it doesn't
It's
mix
like-
as the same.
It's so stupid that, like, I'll be honest with you, it's so dumb that GoPro went that way, because before, when the Hero 4 was out, all you needed was a simple little adapter that plugged into the side of your freaking Hero 4 and your microphone plugged into that. And then the Hero 5, what I've got, came out, and they decided that now you need this stupid audio brick thing. And it's just
Yes.
like, why couldn't you just build that into your, like, with today's technology, we don't need all these big extra fancy things that clip onto it. It should all be able to fit in there. But yet,
You
they
know,
refuse
it's
to
so.
do that.
I'm in IT, so I see the hardware and software side of it. And if you look at the last 3 generations of GoPros, the 8, 9, and 10,
Yeah.
you can see exactly where they're just making it as small as they can to fit everything they have in there. And their software is so much better than the Insta for the stabilization and everything.
Granted, yes.
But there's just no space, and there's so many overheating issues as it is. And
Yeah.
if you look on the Insta forums, their cameras overheat even more than GoPro.
Yeah.
But the
thing is,
especially
do
with the
we-
360.
Yeah,
The
well,
360 camera?
The reality is you don't really need all that extra mumble jumble in there, in my opinion, right? Just keep it
I
simple.
love it.
Stupid. Yeah, no, granted, it is nice to have it, but also just like keep it simple, stupid. Like you don't need to add all this. Like, okay, like next they're going to be putting 8K in these freaking cameras. You need 8K in a freaking GoPro. No, you don't. How many people are rocking an 8K monitor at their computer? Nobody.
Well, when you want to see the hair on a fly's ass, of course you need 8K.
Right. But here's why they do the higher frame rates or the higher resolutions. It's because if you film in 4K and then you zoom in on something, you still have that same level of detail or better than you do at 1080.
Exactly,
So what you end up with is
but the
something where you can
reality
really
is
zoom in.
people like, okay, for instance, like us motovloggers that strap this thing to our helmet, or the guys that are on a surfboard, or the guys that are on a freaking snowboard or whatnot. They're not zooming in to look at some chick's ass fucking 300 meters down the fucking...
They're not. But motovloggers are not the demographic that GoPro's going after. Because 75%...
But the reality
listen. 75% of GoPro clips are less than 75 seconds long.
Yes,
it's the minority of us that are doing longer clips.
Exactly. And the
So-
thing is all these guys that are doing, like, they're on their BMXs or mountain bikes or their jet skis or parachuting or the parasailing or what's that squirrel thing suit that they got where they sail down and in between mountains? and
Squirrel
shit?
suit.
Yeah.
Squirrel suit.
Still, those guys aren't zooming in on something that's off to the distance. Where a motovlogger, per se, he'll be ripping down the road and all of a sudden a really nice freaking muscle hot rod will go by and you'll zoom in on it and you'll slow the thing down like, wow, man, check out that car. That's a real nice car, as you're turning your head looking at it as you're riding by, right? But
Yeah.
these, you know, I know we're the small demographic opposed to the bigger demographic, but really motovloggers, guys really use that zoom function if you think about it, right? Because I use it all the time, right?
Oh,
If
yeah.
I'm in a video and I see a real nice hot rod go by, I will actually slow the video down and zoom in as much as I can before it looks ugly to get a really nice look at that car that's going by, so everybody can enjoy the view that I just see to that thing just, you know, cruising by and whatnot, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I use
And
to zoom
for-
all the time, but I record everything in 1080 because
Yeah, so do I at 1080. I can do 2.7. I did 2.7 for the longest time, actually. Before I got my Harley and I was riding my 250 and shit, I did a full week of just slamming out videos every day. I put out a video, put out a video, put out a video kind of thing, right? And I decided, you know, I'm going to kick it up a notch. I'm going to go to 2.7K. So I went to 2.7K. And then I rendered it, and it would take forever to render. And then I did 2.7K, and then rendered it at 1080, 1920 by 1080, you know, and it still just took as long. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going back to 1080, man, because really what YouTube shows is really just only 1080, unless you got the good gear, the good computer that's going to render it quickly, the good camera that's going to film it correctly, blah, blah, blah.
So we
Why
were
would
talking
you
about
not?
this on the Bolt Bucket live stream a couple days ago, and I finally switched over to DaVinci.
Yeah.
And using the 0.296 codec versus 295.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
No, 264 to 265.
Yeah, I'm transposing numbers in my head, but yeah, the later codec, it compared same video. Newest codec, 4 minutes to render versus 20 minutes to render.
Yeah.
So
And
are
YouTube took it.
Are you using the free version of Resolve?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe with 17.4 that Resolve added GPU acceleration for the rendering of H.264 and H.265 as part of the free program.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was part of the paid program to get the GPU accelerated rendering.
Gotcha.
So you're getting for free what Dewey and I paid for, but it does render a lot faster if you've got a decent GPU. My laptop here has a 2070 Super, and if I let it record or let it render at max speed, it'll do 175 frames per second in 1080. But if I do that, it gives me audio glitches because I use Alex Audio Butler to do all my audio mixing.
Gotcha.
So all I do is edit my video, pick out the best 10 minutes or whatever, switch camera angles. I'll throw all the music and sound effects into their tracks, and then I go ahead and I add the Alex Audio Butler plugins to it and say play through once or twice, and then I say render. And it does the volumes, it does a vocal thing, it does the ducking, so the music dips down below my speaking, and then it renders out and it sounds great.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And I add a noise reduction effect that's built into Resolve. I want to get like Isotope i9 or whatever it's called, but I don't have $1,000. I don't have $1,000 for it.
Yeah, exactly. His tope's
Yeah.
not cheap, but it's kid stuff.
Yeah,
really good
but
stuff.
the built-in effect when combined with Alex Audio Butler gets me that audio that Dewey was talking about before Wally joined us, where he struggles with wind noise when I don't. And
wind noise. Yeah, I deal with wind noise all the time, and it's just like, fuck, man.
Oh,
I've sat there with EQs and just tried to dip that out, and it's just like, yeah, I gave up. I was like, fuck it, wind noise, just deal with the wind noise.
The wind noise bleeds into the vocal area, the hertz or whatever. The two of them they meet in like the middle, so you can drop it down at like 1.2 kilohertz or something.
Yeah, if you can find the frequency it's at, then I sat there
Yeah.
for hours trying to find the frequency. Head on, if I was like going head on and I'm not turning my head, the wind noise I can deal with, but with that fucking Icon Aramata, as soon as I turn my head to look at something, the wind noise is tenfolds, right?
Just
like,
cups up on under.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah. It's really horrible.
Yeah, if you look at my videos before I got my new Memphis Shades windshield, which is 2 inches taller,
Yeah.
the audio was not as good as it is now because I added that and the Batwing wings. They're fairing mounted deflectors on the Street Glide.
Yeah.
When I added those two, I just about don't need the audio processing in Resolve because my audio just got that much better.
Not much better with the wind noise. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I don't even bother with the wind noise. It's like if I have a recording and I hear wind, I'm like, forget it. Whatever I was saying was important. Throw some audio track over it.
Well, the other thing too is like, man, like they always say, man, don't matter what you ride, same wind, same grin, man. Right? So as long as you got your knees and your knuckles are in the air, that's all that matters, man. As long as you're on two wheels, man.
Well, I go down the rabbit hole and I want to have the highest production quality for my time and ability. So I end up spending way more time than is necessary to edit.
I'm the same way because being a bit of an audiophile myself, as you can hear in my audio in this live stream, you know, I want to have good sound, good, clear, concise sound. And I've seen so many videos. You can have the best freaking picture in the world, but if your audio sucks, nobody's going to watch it. Right.
Yep.
And that's just, our ears are more key than what our eyes are. Our eyes can enjoy all the visual effects we want, but if you don't like what you're hearing, you're not going to watch it all.
Yeah. So as soon as riding season comes around, so I picked up a purple Panda mic and a splitter. I'm going to actually use that and put the purple Panda behind me hooked up to my other GoPro, so I could pick up the exhaust note as I'm riding through, so I can blend that into the audio tracks.
Yep,
I thought about
you're going to want a dead cat for that.
Yeah, I've got a dead cat on already. Yeah,
Speaking of which, we're
so while
you
you
need
see
a
my
dead
latest
cat like
video,
this thing here, man.
I haven't. That's huge.
Yeah, it's a big old dead cat there.
Did you see my latest video, Wally, with my wife riding?
I might have missed it. I want to say I did see it though.
It came out yesterday, but it was a dual vlog for our anniversary ride. I got her to at least put one camera on the bike, and it started out pointed at her, and then she wanted it aimed the other way, so she turned it at a stoplight. Yeah. But I actually had a Rode Wireless Go receiver that I put on the cold shoe of the Media Mod on the Hero 8 on her handlebars. And then I had the wireless transmitter and mic up in her helmet and on clipped to her jacket. And I used gaffer's tape to make sure that the receiver wouldn't go anywhere. And then I had on my bike, I had the GoPro 360 sitting off the engine guard off the front side. And then I had the Hero 9 up here because I recorded it before I got the 10. So I had all three cameras, and I set up in Resolve a multicam for the Hero 9 and the Max. And then I had another track with her audio and video. So I had 2 audio and video tracks and had to meld them and merge them. And her bike is so loud that I cut her out when she wasn't talking so it wouldn't blast people's ears. It took me 6 hours to edit that video. And
I can imagine that multi-camera is not easy.
The multicam is easy if you're on one bike with one mic. But when you have two
mics, yeah, I can just imagine.
I wanted to do a giant multicam with my stuff and her stuff and just pick an audio track.
Yeah.
But we talked over each other too much. So I spent like 2 hours before I even started counting the hours I was editing, just figuring out how I wanted to edit this footage. And I edited part 2 of this series in like 3 or 4 hours. It was way faster.
Yeah, I've got to figure out that multicam thing. Like I said, I just got DaVinci. I was using a Pinnacle Studio, which is horrible.
So go to my channel, and I have a playlist on DaVinci Resolve tutorials, and they're geared towards motovloggers.
Perfect.
So blurring and tracking license plates, doing multicam setup. I'm gonna do another video soon when I don't have a bunch of fans running in the room, and I will do a how I edit my motovlog video, because I get a lot of questions, usually on Facebook, but I still get a lot of questions. How do you edit your videos? Because your stuff, especially like Jeff, Preacher Motoman Jeff down in Alabama, he's constantly like, dude, I don't understand your productivity because you get so many videos out. And like right now, I'm doing 2 a week, and I've got 6 weeks worth of content.
Wow.
I have 6 weeks worth of content already uploaded, detailed. All I have to do is hit publish.
Yeah.
and it's
Not bad.
and I still have
That's a lot of work.
I have 10 or 11 left to edit. And
But you're already in the mode. You're like I record and then it hooks up. Then I'm going to download. Then I'm going to do this. Then I got dinners to make and lunches to do, and then work, and then wife, and then
I do that too, man. Dude, I got two small kids. I got a wife. I got a job, and I just don't sleep. So
I got to the point where when I was doing my videos, and I still kind of do it, the day I film it, it's the day I edit it, the day I upload it and release it, right? But when I started doing a lot of these travel this summer, because the last 2 summers I've had to work graveyard shift, so that riding was in the summertime was just not an option for me, right?
Yeah.
So this summer, actually this past summer, I was finally back on day shift, so I was able to like go out and do all these freaking rides that I've been wanting to do for the last 2 summers, right? And they're just sitting in my computer just waiting for me, and it's like it's so time consuming because it's like where I live here in BC on the west coast of Canada, we have some pretty spectacular views, and it's just like it's the time you have to sit and just go through it and go, well, what do I throw on the floor and what do I put on the video, right? Like there's just so much shit, and you just have to make time, and you're like, okay, well, I want to show this, and this is a really beautiful section of the country that I live in, but it's 15 minutes of riding, but I don't want to throw anything on the floor. So what do? Do I speed it up, or do I chop it into chunks?
I think it all depends on the content that you're putting out. A lot of times I just put out content for myself.
Well, that's what I do too.
I'll sit there and watch my own stuff. I know no one else is watching it, but I enjoy it because I go back in memory and like, man, I remember that day we went out to there and there.
Exactly. That's what I do too, right? But there's even times though where I'm putting shit out and I'm like, well, this is kind of boring. I remember this section, but it doesn't stand out where this section here really stood out and stuff like that, right? So I try to speed shit up. I take my videos and I'll condense them and speed it up, and then add music to it. But I don't want to make it so fast so it's like the bike's like doing fucking like you're on a sport bike while you're on a fucking Harley, right? So you want it to look natural and shit, right?
Right.
So one of the things I do is I'll take in this series that I'm editing now from July, I recorded the entire ride, so it's 5 hours of footage.
Exactly.
And that's why
chop that down into 15 minutes.
Right, and that's why it's been put off on the back burner for 9 months.
Well, that's the same with my shit. It's been put off the burner for 9 months.
But here's the thing: you can take that 15 minutes of riding down the road, and out of it, there's like a minute and a half of, hey, this is really scenic, or this is a cool roadside attraction, or I really nailed this corner. And I'll take 4-second clips and I'll delete the rest that's boring, bring it together, and just leave it exactly 4 seconds.
Well, I do
and
that.
Then, hold on.
Too,
and then I take a music track, whatever I think will fit that section, and I lay that down. And then wherever there's a beat, I'll drag the ends of the clips to that beat. And then it keeps the pacing.
Yeah. No, I do that as well, right? It's just, but it's so time consuming for me because I got OCD, I've got attention deficit disorder, I've got everything under the sun, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I want to show this, but then I got to sit there and I got to go through it. And then all of a sudden I got my TV is on beside me. Something on TV distracts me, or all of a sudden I'm like, oh, let's go watch YouTube for a bit because I've been editing for the last hour. I need to have a break from fucking editing.
I do the same thing.
It's just like,
I schedule about an hour a day to edit videos in the evening. So after I do the Lego and I hang out with the wife and the kids and I get them to bed, and I hang out with her for a little while. I'm like, all right, you're going to bed. I'm going to go downstairs to the porch. And I come out here, I light a cigar, pour a little bourbon, edit for about an hour, watch YouTube for about an hour, go to bed.
Yeah.
And, on the weekends, I get a couple extra hours of video editing. So I'll knock out, I'll do my rough cuts during the week, and then I'll do sound design and the finishing touches on the weekend and hit upload, and then go to work and repeat.
It's like, I like the controlled chaos. That's, I think, riding in general, it's like there's chaos all around you, but you have control over that. And then when I edit, it's in the middle of, I'm doing meetings, doing work, watching YouTube videos, doing, cooking dinner, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
But it's
TV
like
might be
I'm
on,
able
yeah.
to produce stuff that way.
You got to focus. I give
Well,
myself
that's
1
just the
hour.
thing, right?
1 hour. After an hour's up, I'm like, nope, I'm going to go do something else for a little bit. And I'll be watching like Shade Tree Surgeon, or I'll watch $1 Million Bogan. I'll be like, oh, hey, wait, hold on, go back. They did this here. Oh, that's interesting. And I'll go back to Resolve, and another hour disappears. I'm like, shit,
Just
now it's
exactly.
1:30 in the morning. I gotta go to bed.
If you watch Shade Tree, you obviously watch Flip now.
I
And when
don't.
you watch Flip, he does really good in his videos and his editing and adding music and blah blah blah. Like, I actually give that guy a lot of thumbs up for how he does his stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do my stuff like you do. Like, you do it right, and I'm not grasping what you're doing to do it right, But I'll get there. It's like my stuff's okay. Like, I get the views and people watch my shit, and I can see my analytics if I did well or if I did bad and shit like that. You can tell by the way you edit your video, by the views that you get. As soon as you upload and you have your channel dashboard, it tells you ranking by views and how many views you've had and impression click-through rates and average view duration and blah, blah, blah. And if it's all green arrows pointing up, then you did something right. If it's a couple green arrows pointing up and a couple gray arrows pointing down, well, then you got to improve on your show, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the way I look at it. So
I'm always
my latest video, I got 3 green arrows pointing up. Well, I did something right.
Yeah, I started mucking with my descriptions and whatnot to get my SEO scores up, see if that made any difference. Not, and honestly, I don't have a lot of content out there. Last year was kind of a crap show. There's like I worked my ass
shit
off.
happens, right? Life happens. You got
Exactly.
The biggest thing about YouTube, and a lot of people forget, is like life happens. Hey, Paul, how's it going?
Hey, Paul.
Life happens, and we all have to remember that. Like, I've been doing this now since 2018 is when I got my first motorcycle. It's now 2022, so that tells you how long I've been doing YouTube myself. And then there was the 2-3 years prior to becoming a YouTuber of watching motovloggers and being in the motovlogging community before I became a motovlogger and started doing it myself, right? So I got my first motorcycle in 2018. It's now 2022. So this is how long I've been doing it for. And like I said, I've seen a lot of faces come and go. I've seen a lot of big names come and go. Guys who got up there really big, like Snowcat. Snowcat, he was a really big YouTuber out of Canada. He's gone now, right? The guy was making bank. And then Apocalypse happened. And I don't know if you guys have been around YouTube when Apocalypse happened, but what they call Apocalypse had happened in YouTube, and that just killed everybody's freaking money, right? Like, nobody was making money after that. Prior to that, like, I asked Sub D, the Suburban Delinquent, if you guys know who he is. He's part of the Voss Helmets group, and Voss Helmets is here in Canada. The actual headquarters is here in Canada, not far from where my work is. And they had the River Run, what they call the River Run. And it was their second annual river run, and all their riders that they had, sponsored riders like Sub D and 6'4" Honda, a girl and her bike, and who was the other guy? There's another guy. There was a few people that they had, and they all had them come up to Canada, or there was a couple of them from Canada who came out to the West Coast here. We all went out and did a ride, and this was shortly after Apocalypse had happened. So I was hanging out with Sub D at the ride, and I said to him, I was like, dude, if you don't mind me asking, before Apocalypse was going on, what kind of money were you guys fucking pulling in when you're monetized? And then, post and pre and post Apocalypse. And he's like, dude, I was pulling anywhere from 10 grand a month off of YouTube. Yeah, 10 grand a month off of YouTube. And he said, then Apocalypse happened. I'm lucky to make 2 grand a month at best.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's how much money those guys lost. They lost a lot of money. So therefore, we lost a lot of fucking people who were YouTubers back then when that had happened, who were motovloggers. They're like, I'm just going to have to go and get a real job because I'm not making the kind of money that I was making. The smart people took their money and invested it into their property and bought themselves a home and all that shit prior to that and got a well-established, place to live and got their shit together. The dumb people just went out and wasted all their fucking money. And when they wasted all their money and that apocalypse happened, they just like, well, I just got to go get a real life now. I got to go get a job and this and that. I got no time for YouTube and shit, right? I got to make some serious money because I was making this kind of money. Now I'm not, right? So,
Yeah, the YouTube as a career, I mean, it can make sense.
Feasible. It was feasible at one time.
Yeah.
It's not anymore.
No, you've got to be like these giant YouTubers now, like my kids watch and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's just it. Like, before the whole, I need 1,000 freaking subscribers and 4,000 hours watched. You could make money at this, right? But now you can't. To get to that 4,000 hours watched and get to those 1,000 subscribers. At one time, you didn't need the 1,000. You could be monetized at 200 subscribers or 150 subscribers. As long as you had the views and people were watching you, you were able to get monetized from YouTube, right? And that's what happened back then. But then all of a sudden, all these jihadists over in the Middle East are freaking making videos on how to kill Americans and shit like that, and had Coca-Cola sponsoring the videos and shit, put a fucking kibosh to that thing and just shut it right down, right?
Well, maybe that's why the apocalypse came and wiped out all that stuff too.
That's exactly why apocalypse came in. That's why the whole apocalypse came in. Right? It's because of that, because of what was going on YouTube. Because YouTube wasn't really monitoring the kind of shit that they had on their channel.
It was when did Google take over YouTube?
Oh, that's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, and that's just it. Like it's freaking. I don't know. I put a video up one time. I don't even remember what it was, like 2007, 6, 2005. I'd have to go look through my archives on my other channel. Anyways, we had a 420 rally here. I went to the 420. I had my little stupid camera, like 1080 thing, and a really grainy video at the time. And I'm filming the smoke rising off this group of people at 420. Everybody's smoking pot at 420. You can see the cloud rising. And so I'm filming this. It's like literally like less than a 30-second clip, maybe anywhere 30 seconds to a minute clip. And I uploaded it. And because it just happened to be what was going on at the time, I got like a whole lot of views. All of a sudden, I got an email from YouTube saying, if your video continues doing as well as it's doing, we're going to have to pay you money, right? I had like maybe 5, 6 subscribers at the time, and they're willing to pay me. I'm like, what? YouTube pay me money? Oh, this is kind of cool. Maybe I should get into YouTube, right? And, and this is way before I ever heard of Motovloggers and shit like that, right? So I was looking at YouTube, it's like, oh man, how can I make money? Stay at home and make money from YouTube and blah, 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 right? Not knowing the whole, what YouTube was at the time. I was just learning YouTube and how YouTube really worked and shit at the time, right? I happen to miss out on that whole good times of when YouTube is a good time, but now YouTube's pretty much not a good time anymore.
I mean, granted, I think the three of us sitting here, I think we all missed out on some big boats.
Yeah, we missed out on
the Googles, the Amazons, even the Yahoos. Just $10, the Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin.
I missed out on everything. I collected baseball cards in the 90s, but it was the 70s and 80s when they were big, and in the 90s they made too many of them, so they were freaking worthless.
Yeah, baseball cards are just cards with baseball players. That's it now. That's all they are. Are you really interested in a picture of somebody on a piece of cardboard?
No. But now that I'm in YouTube, it's like I missed it by like a year. I could have been.
I missed you probably missed a little longer than that, because that apocalypse happened, 2018 is when I started, and apocalypse was 2016, 2017 is when the whole apocalypse happened.
Yeah, it was around then. I had $4 in my YouTube account at that point. Yeah. I created this channel in 2009 or 2010, and I had some car stuff on here, and it was like, yeah, you got $4 in your account, and they locked me out. They're like, "You
Yeah,
don't have
well,
a
that's
thousand
just, I know a
subscribers."
few people, they were monetized before they put in the heavy restrictions, and they were like, oh, I made this much money and blah, blah, blah. And then they put in heavy restrictions. It's like, oh, guess what? That money that you made, you no longer get it, right? Because now you have to get the 4,000 hours watched and the 1,000 subscribers. And like I said, and they only pay you out in $100 increments, man. Until you've made that $100, that's when they pay you out. You know, like my estimated revenue right now is $17.22. But if I go to my AdSense,
Nice. Paul, why don't you? Paul's been chatting here. It's like, why don't you put those videos back up? I mean, you really don't have anything to lose. I mean, I've got crappy videos from my old Sportster just sitting up there, and those seem to get a lot of views just because
the Sporty is a very popular bike.
Yeah,
so my balance right now is $76.74. So I got $24 to go, 23 fucking 23 25 is what I need to make before I get paid from YouTube. So
yeah, no, I don't have a YouTube account. I mean, a money account. I don't ever see that happening, but I'm fine with it. And like Paul, it's like I've grown because I'm engaging with people. It's especially on Instagram.
The best thing you can do is just engage.
And support.
Yeah,
it's like you love what we're all doing here. It's like if I can support somebody, I do so.
Yeah,
the biggest thing I find is like I hear a lot of people really complain about the fact that, oh, I don't get views, I don't get views, I don't get views, and it's just like, well, you don't get views because you put videos out, but yet I don't see your comments in the comment section. I don't see you in the live streams interacting in the side chats.
Yeah.
I don't see you interacting in the community and whatnot. Like you just throw a video out and you hope for the best and you hope to get paid or you hope to get the view time and blah, blah, blah. But
I'm just hoping YouTube doesn't ever take it down because it's a keepsake for me.
Yeah, no, it'll never get taken down. You got to work towards it, man. It took me 4 years to get monetized, right?
Yeah.
Where unless you got blonde hair and big boobs, you're gonna get it in 10 days, kind of thing, right? Like,
no, don't get me started.
But it's the truth. It's
don't
the truth, right?
It is the truth. There's so many out there,
man.
Look, there's so many leg humpers out there that just want to watch videos of scantily clad women, and their videos are shot on a potato, by a potato, for potatoes.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just such a crapshoot. But you're so right, because if you're in the side comments, you're in the side section, and like I come in and I'm a pot stirrer. So I come in and make snarky comments and all that. And then I was on a Life of Birch live stream. I was in the side comments, and somebody asked a question about a GoPro, and I was like, I have the answer. Here's the answer. And if you want, I have a channel. Go check out my playlist. And I got 9 subscribers out of being in that chat. For
that's just it. You just got to be there. You have to interact with the conversation that's going on in the panel. You have to interact with the conversation that's going on in the side chat. You got to do it all. You have to fucking go out and pound the pavement, as it were, right? That's the same as being a musician, and you got to go play a gig, and you want the people to come to your freaking show. You got to go out and pound the pavement and hand out the flyers and stick the flyers on the freaking telephone poles and this and that, right? Like you got to go out, you got to spend the time to make the people fucking want to interact with your channel, right?
Yeah. And
it's a lot of hard work, but you got to do it, right? And
absolutely. And a lot of people that have smaller channels, they don't realize that YouTube's not giving you the exposure because you don't have the number of views and subs. But to get the number of views and subs, you need the engagement with everybody else.
Exactly.
So it's like
you have to engage with your audience. If you don't engage with the side chat, the panel, watching other people's videos, especially watching other people's videos, that's the biggest thing about the community, is getting into the community and watching the other people. But one thing you'll notice is like you'll sit there and interact with the other people in the community, but they're not always going to interact back to you. So you have to pick and choose who you go and watch. And if you spend the time to watch somebody and you're watching them and you're watching them, but they're not spending the time watching you and commenting back at you, then don't go waste your time fucking watching their shit and commenting on their shit if they're not going to do the same in return, right? You have to, pick and choose the people that you hang out with in your little, because it's all a click. Everything in the YouTube is all a small little click. And the motovloggers are the worst when it comes to clicks, man. If you're not a part of this click and that click,
there's 5 motovlogger clicks.
Yeah,
there's like 5 of them.
Well, if not more, there's more than.
But it's like the larger subscriber base that they have, they go into a new click level.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
They're
And-
now part of the plastics.
And I don't know if you guys are very familiar with the whole fucking what the fuck is it? Support fucking motovloggers, whatever it is. I can't even remember what it is because I gave up on it fucking many years ago. Dirty D's started it, and it turned into a clique, and they started a channel or they started a group on YouTube, and it basically became, to me, I figured it out that if you were not part of their clique, you weren't going to get views. And if you put your video on there and shit like that, and you didn't become a part of their inner circle, that really, it was just a place to go to kill your channel is what it was. So I stopped posting in there, and I got more views not posting in there than I did posting there, right? Because it was just, I find Facebook, that's what, not YouTube, but Facebook, it's where you go to kill your channel. I do not post fuck all on my Facebook channel, on my Facebook page about my channel. I do everything on Instagram, right? It's just like, yeah, Facebook is just a place to kill your channel. And because nobody has time, Facebook is all about flick, like, flick, like, flick, like, flick, that's all Facebook is, right?
Like every rule, there's something that breaks the rule, and that's, I've done a small number of how-to or setup videos, especially like the big.
What's up, Swami Suave?
Hey, and I do a few videos that people ask questions about all the time on the Harley groups on Facebook, and I'll be like, yeah, you want a windshield? Here's a video. I upgraded from a 6.5 to an 8.5 Memphis Shades windshield on my Harley. And
those do work, okay.
Yes, that works.
But wrong, because I've done rides on some of the more on the Harley groups there, where people haven't done that ride yet, and I was like, oh, I went and did this ride this summer, and I've actually gotten quite a few subscribers and views from doing that because I rode a certain section of road and where I live and shit like that, and there's people that haven't ridden that section of road, and they're like, oh man, I can't wait to ride that, blah blah blah, so they end up watching their video and whatnot. But that's not always the case. In the Harley groups, it does work really well, but if it's, what the hell is that channel called without me freaking grabbing my Facebook and flicking through it? Try not to grab my phone here. I'm one of those people, like, I don't want to be on my freaking phone while I'm in a live stream.
Either.
It's just like, that you want to kill your freaking channel, do that. Oh yeah, I'm in a live stream. Flick.
Yeah. So
not interacting with what's going on, right?
Along the same lines, Dewey, who was on earlier, he and I chat like every day, and we're big stats nerds. So he's like, yeah, I cross-posted this video of mine on some Facebook ADV groups, and the AVD just went in the shitter, and the click-through rate was fine, but it's like it kills any momentum his video had because the algorithm's not going to push it because so many people didn't watch much of it. And I don't post my vlogs anywhere except my RoadReality Facebook page and my personal Facebook page, where some of my friends haven't, I guess, followed the RoadReality page, and they seem to like it and they'll watch it. So like my last 40 videos or so, the vlogs, they get at least a 50% AVD, and the click-through rate's around 6%, which are both pretty good stats for vlogs. But you can watch and you can see that YouTube is only showing it to so many people, and then they stop. and they're just not pushing it anymore. And they'll occasionally get views here and there, but unless I do like a DaVinci Resolve tutorial or here's how I upgraded my Harley video, they're not getting the
DaVinci
views.
Resolve. The other thing about YouTube is called searchable content.
Yep.
You do something that is searchable content, it's going to get you views, right? YouTube's huge on searchable content. That's one thing I've really noticed over the years doing. It's just like the more searchable content that you do, the more videos you're gonna get. Like, for instance, things I love about my 2020 Harley Davidson fucking 1200 and the things I dislike about my fucking Iron 1200. Those two videos, you know how you got the top videos last 48 hours viewed. Those two videos, always there.
Yep.
Those two videos, that's all they do. They just get views, right? It doesn't make me a ton of money, but they constantly get views and they're always in my top videos in the last 48 hours. Those two videos, always there. Every day when I refresh my fucking studio channel dashboard page, those two are always there. Every single day.
I have two videos. I had two videos. The first one I ever did was a how to fold down your rear seat on a 2019 and up Ram 1500.
Yeah.
That one averages 140 to 200 views every 48 hours.
Yeah.
And then the second one is a bagger showdown video I did because so many people asked me why I upgraded from a Kawasaki Vaquero to a Harley Street Glide. What are the pros and cons of each?
Yeah.
And that one was at 200 every 48, and now it's down to like 75 or so. But those two videos, they have like 50,000 views combined. They're my number 1 and 2 videos.
Yeah, see those my two that I got right now, I got 24 and 12 right now from the last time I refreshed it. And that's kind of where they sit at. And they like, I want to see how many fucking, what's that? I want to see where this one's at for views. I haven't looked at it for a while, actually. I got 25,000 views of the things I freaking love about my bike. Right. And it just constantly gets views. And the ones I dislike, it's at what's it at now? 15,300. Those are videos I dropped 2 years ago. Right. And they just constantly get views. And the funny thing is my dislike one is if you look at the analytics scale goes up, and if my loved one, my analytics scale goes down.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's
negative cells.
Yeah. Right. But it's still like they just constantly get views. They don't stop getting views. Those ones there, like those two videos. If it wasn't for those two videos, those are the only things keeping my channel alive. The fact that I can stay monetized because they're constantly getting views, right?
Yep.
That's all they do. They just get views. They just get views.
And I tried to do my top 5 things I like about my Street Glide, and it's gotten like 5 views.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably 100 and some at this point.
It's really weird. Like when you put out a video, and it's all about the keywords. Keywords is also another very big thing about YouTube. Is having the right keywords for the searchable content for people to want to watch.
All right, I got a video tip for you. Top 5 videos of the top 5 reasons that you like top 5 videos of the top 5 Harley Davidson Sportster 1200.
That's some Inception level.
And you know what? The
right
SOE would probably be so fucking high on that. It'd be stupid. You probably have 100% SOE on that.
Yeah. And you know what? Even YouTube themselves says that the tags are basically meaningless at this point. It's all about the title and description.
I have every tag that I can get. Right.
Yeah.
I used every fucking hashtag. I used that program called hashtag plus or whatever, and it gives you all that fucking. You just type in what it is, and it fucking produces all the hashtags for you. All you got to do is copy and paste them to your fucking YouTube. Blah blah blah. I've used those programs, and it's helped. Trust me, it's helped a whole lot. Right. I had a guy who had he had more subs than me, and I was gaining on him. I was like, "Oh, I'm gaining up on you, buddy." And he was a guy that I looked up to. Well, fuck YouTube! I fucking hate YouTube. Fucking go fuck yourself. I ended up unsubbing to the guy and just unfollowing him altogether.
Oh yeah,
like, fuck, you're just being a bitch, man. Like, I tried to tell him. It was like, dude, do this and do this and do this. Right? And he was like, fuck that. And then fucking 2 months later, I see he's doing everything that I told him to do on his YouTube channel. So Tomek's trying to get back in.
Hey, I'm back. Guys.
Hey, he's back.
Do something real quick. You guys are still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wally joined in and we just kept on going. So
Yeah.
forget about it. We're just gonna continue chatting. I gave them all my secrets, but it didn't record for you, so you won't get to watch it.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you the point in the rewatch where you can see it
Yeah, you have to watch the whole thing again.
from the beginning.
I tell you what, one of the best things about being a content creator, and I'm going to put that title on myself because nobody else will, is that I see people that are struggling in a certain area of making a vlog, and they watch my video and they're like, dude, thank you so much. You were able to help me through this one hurdle so I can make my content better. And I was like, that's like the best response I can get to a video. And it's so motivating to read comments like that.
My biggest problem that I have is just coming up with an idea for content. I'll hit a writer's wall or a motovlogger's wall per se. All the time, it's like, what the hell am I going to do? And I'll strap the GoPro on the helmet and I'll go out the door and I'm like, all right, so what am I going to talk about? Oh, look at that car right there. Oh, squirrel.
Oh, dude, look, I have videos like that all the time. I put them in a whole series called Scatterbrain.
That's what I have. I've got a same with me. Scatterbrain with Road Rash.
I literally call them Scatterbrain. I was talking to Dewey one day and I was like, dude, I got this video. It's like 30 minutes long. It's got 10 topics in it. And I'm so scatterbrained in it. And I was like, wait a minute. Scatterbrain. He's like, yeah, run with it, dude. And now like Black Phoenix Entertainment.
If you look through my old catalog too, it's Scatterbrain. I've got one that's Scatterbrain. And the funny thing is, in that Scatterbrain, there's a squirrel that runs across the street. I'm like, oh, look, squirrel.
Yeah. I had one recently where a giant ass raccoon ran across the road in front of me. So I said, "There's in the title. There's a special guest."
Yeah.
And yeah, it was freaking hilarious. Like it's funny. You start out and you're like, "I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna record my rides, and I'm gonna share it with my friends and family and whoever else wants to watch." Right? That's like everybody's first goal. Or not everybody, but that's some people's first goal. It was mine, and over the last year and a half, I've come to realize that I'm an idiot, but I'm a goofball idiot who should not do motorcycle reviews or upcoming product announcements because that's guys. That's
what I don't do.
Yeah, they come in. Look, those viewers come in, they watch that one video, they subscribe for a week, and then they're out.
They're gone. Exactly. That's why I don't do that shit.
But what I came to realize was I figured it out how to bleep out my cursing. So if I try not to curse, I step over my words and I just stumble and freaking fall like I'm doing right now. But if I drop an F-bomb now and then and just bleep it the fuck out later, see, it's much more flowing and fluid. So I've come to realize that my personality is what I need to let shine. So I've done that. And actually, Nate from Channel Makers, who does videos on how to do better YouTube videos, I've actually contacted him via text, and we chatted on the phone, and he was like, "Yeah, your videos are pretty good. You just need to let your personality shine." So I've really focused on that the last year or so, and as I've gotten the aero mods on the Harley, I'm able to do it with less redos, so the videos come out better. They come out with less footage, which means less editing time, which means I can get them out faster. And now I'm at 2-a-week videos with 6 weeks worth of content already uploaded. And I'm like, dude, I need to finish editing so I can get back to riding. And it's been so much easier and so much more fun because I'll just throw any fucking thing out there and let people watch or not watch, whatever. And if they get a laugh, even better. They always say you can inform or you can entertain, but you can't do both. Well, I inform on the DaVinci Resolve and how to test your GoPro and break lens covers and all that shit. My poor Max, I've run it. You see it's got no lens protectors on it. Okay. Here, it's a little closer. No lens protectors because I finally figured out how to not drop it on the ground at 50 miles an hour, which was a difficult process for me to learn. And they scraped. There's a couple of videos. My 360 fail video is the first one, and then the ride to Ruins Hall is the second one.
On that
Yes, we have a
360,
question.
is it just there's no cover? Is it just pure lens on top?
Yeah,
There's no,
so they sell lens protectors, but they ghost your image. The ones that come with the camera are like perfect plastic, and they don't have any distortion in your picture. But
Okay.
the aftermarket ones that GoPro sells you after the fact, that every one I've tried ghosts. But you can see here, the lens sticks out a little bit,
right.
and I've got a nice contrast on the background there. It sticks out a little bit, so this hits the ground. But
Right.
I had a lens protector on it the first 2 times it hit the ground. Since then, it hasn't hit the ground.
So if you F that up right there, camera's gone, or is that replaceable?
Yeah, camera's gone. It's not
Camera's gone 'cause you can't pull those
replaceable
glass.
item.
Yeah, unlike the Hero 5s and up where you can twist the
right, like the
glass
Hero
off and
9.
replace it.
Yeah, the Hero 9, you can just swap the lens out
Yeah.
because this is the Max
Yeah,
lens
just
mod.
pop that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Max, if it hits the ground, like you can literally see, because you can reframe 360, right? I framed it for hitting the ground and it go clink, and I added a glass breaking sound effect. I slowed it down, replayed it 3 times because I was getting my money's worth of that hit. That $10 is going to cost me to buy new lens protectors.
Now, just go on with what you were saying, Road. I did a video one time, and because I cuss, I swear all the time in my video. I'm fucking fuck this, fuck that. You're a fucking idiot. Get the fuck out of my way, you fucking stupid fucking driver. Blah blah blah. And so I made a video one time saying, because even my daughter, she'll come over and say, "Dad, you cuss a lot. You swear a lot in your videos." And yeah, I know. I kind of swear. My mouth's a little foul. And so I made a video one time. I was asking people basically, should I swear less or should I swear more or should I just be who I am? And really 90% of the comments were like, dude, just be you, man. Like, I'd rather you just like cuss and swear and do your shit and do whatever you do opposed to you bleeping it out, because your true personality is coming out in your videos when you do that. And so I was like, you know what, fuck it. If I swear here and there, sure, I'll monetize. Fucking YouTube don't like it that I'm swearing every now and then, saying fuck this, fuck that, fuck everybody, go fuck the world, blah blah blah. But they're still paying me money. So it's like, so I was like, fuck it. If Baker X Derek can say fucking fuck this and fuck that and blah blah blah, and he's making money, fucking, I'm not going to sit there and spend the time like fucking blockhead and sit there and go bleep, bleep, bleep every time I say shit, fucking piss. It's like, fuck it. I'm not going to worry about it,
Dude, it's what's funny is I had that same internal monologue like, I got to let my personality shine, but my personality is an asshole. So he's going to fucking curse. And I was like, well, what do I do with this? And I was like, all right. So I downloaded a bleep sound effect. And in Resolve, you have power bins. And Wally, watch my DaVinci Resolve shortcuts video.
Okay.
I go over power bins in that so that you can easily do this. But I have a sound effects power bin, and in there's bleep. And I drag bleep onto the timeline, which puts it in the bin for the timeline. And then I just drag it down. Every time I curse, I drag it down. I put a cut. I unsnap. Drag the audio back about 10 frames or however long I was fucking cursing. Yeah. And then I hit snap again. I drag bleep over it and I stretch it out. And it snaps into place. It covers the whole curse word. The curse. Now, some people will bleep out, but they'll just add a bleep sound effect so you can still hear shit. But
it's just shit. Yeah.
And it's like, no, I can still hear you saying it. And I'm a perfectionist. So it has to be, exact. So I spend, like, I zoom way in on the timeline, and I spend a total of a whole minute per time I bleep, pretty much. Sometimes it's faster than that. Sometimes it's 30 seconds. But I bleep out every curse word, and I do it for one reason. And I'm sorry Road Rash is going to miss this, but I'm not stopping. There is a guy named Jay Yadlovsky who has a YouTube channel doing DaVinci Resolve tutorials, and I've been following him since he had like 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And on the comments section of one of my early videos, he had subscribed to my channel, and he was like, dude, I miss riding a bike. My daughter and I watch your videos, and I know he's got young kids. And I was like, so as soon as I started cursing in the videos, I was like, fuck, all right, I got to bleep this shit out because nobody's going to fucking want to watch me curse. And I don't want to piss this guy off and his daughter, because he and I have actually we've talked offline. You know, it's like we're acquaintances.
Yeah.
And I use air quotes because I like air quotes. And that is the one driving factor to why. And look, he joined back in. He missed the whole reason, but that's the one whole reason why I bleep out my curse words.
No, I heard you. I heard you when I went and grabbed the beer.
Okay, good. So in this series I'm doing with my wife, whenever she curses, I put a duck on it because she's a big Donald Duck fan. So I have a duck quack that I put over her curse words, and I have a bleep that I put over my curse words. And it's just look, if you haven't watched my latest video, it's almost my opus, you know.
I've got some time to catch up on stuff. I love the Big Lebowski, and it's like I try not to swear. It's in me to swear all the time, but it's like I try not to swear, and I always think about the Sam Elliott part where the stranger's sitting up at the bar talking to the dude, and he's like, "Dude, you gotta use so many cuss words." And dude's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I do. If I look, my first like 50 videos, I actively stopped myself from cursing, and you can just feel the cringe in my head going, why am I not saying the word I really wanted to say?
It's a mental connection point.
Yes,
it connects thoughts together.
Exactly.
The funny thing is,
like,
I've done videos where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to swear. I'm not going to swear. So I make a mental note in my head. I'm going to say friggin', whatever else, fire truck, whatever it might be, instead of saying fuck. Then all of a sudden I come across the first stupid fucking driver that makes me fucking cool off. That's it. It's done. I'm like, fucking idiot. Fuck you, you fucking moron. Get the fuck out of my way. Fucking the fucking. Yeah, I just can't.
Oh, yeah. I started a second channel that I'm still preparing, for lack of a better word. Some call it laziness. But I'm going to do a Lego channel because I'm big into the Lego now. Yeah. And my kids are big into it. So I'm going to try to incorporate
I bet
that.
a Lego channel would do really fucking well.
Dude, there are hundreds of thousands of subscribers to some of the YouTube channels that do Lego.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
It's bonkers. There's a guy out of Canada named Brixie that does whatever Lego, and he's got like, I don't know, 200,000 subscribers or something. It's just fucking bonkers.
I could totally see, man.
I can't curse in the Lego channel, you know?
No, you can't. But you know what? You're in a Lego channel. You're built like you don't have to deal with stupid fucking drivers that's going to make you curse, right? Like you can do your damnedest and not to curse, but as soon as you come across the first stupid fucking driver, the first thing that's going to come out of your mouth, you're a fucking idiot, fuck off. You know,
oh my God. I curse so much. I cursed out like 17 people today on my drive home from work because they're all fucking
morons. Oh yeah, exactly. Because that's just natural reality, you know.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like a proponent of saying the word fuck off all the time. Like I'm trying to do up my jacket, my motorcycle jacket, and I'm all half blind and I can't stick the one in. And fuck off, get in there, man. I'm trying to do you up. Stop fucking with me, you know.
Look, I curse. It's the name of the game. So if I'm not cursing, I'm not talking, and I'm just gonna fucking bleep it out, you know. My God, my wife curses like a sailor. In the video I recently did, I keep mentioning it. She's like. She just cursed so much it added an hour of editing time to just bleep her out. And then there's 2 more parts to this series, and it got worse and worse. And then the third part, I cut like 20 minutes of us talking out because every other word out of her mouth was an F-bomb. And I was like, nope, I'm done. Like this video is long enough. There's 2 minutes of slideshow from the bike show we went to. Yeah, that's right.
Hey guys, listen, I'm gonna drop off here because I do have to get up for meetings in the morning, and I'm starting to pass out myself.
I know. I'm surprised you guys are still around because I'm on West Coast time, and it's like 9:27 p.m. my time, and I got to be up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So I'm just imagining what you guys are all on the East Coast are doing. Like, holy fuck, it's late as fuck for you guys.
My kids, bye for a sec. I'm gonna head out as well, so I think I'm gonna probably just end the stream, right, Wally? I mean, we got to end it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, not everybody needs sleep like me.
Right now.
Look, I'm going to get my 6 hours tonight. I'll be fucking fine in the morning.
But hey, there's Tuesday.
Do it another Tuesday? Are we good with doing it every
I'll do it.
Tuesday, or do you want to switch it to every other Tuesday?
I mean, we'll see. Let's chat about that. We'll figure it out. The
All
thing
right.
that's
Yeah, hit me up.
We can do it. I want to try to do it every Tuesday, but like if you can't show up or I can't show up, we can kind of alter maybe, or
Yeah, no, that could work. Yeah, let's
Yeah, remember,
figure
okay, I'll give you guys, I'll give you young guys a little something here.
Let's tune in Tuesday. If we're bored, we'll hop on here and chat. People kind of get used to that.
Yeah, I can't do every Tuesday because I like to do Lego as well, and I had to do it.
I'll give you young guys a little live stream, little something here. Wintertime live streaming. Let's get my thumbs in there. Summertime live streaming.
Well, that's what I'm
Right?
feeling.
Everybody's out riding their motorcycles, out going camping, spending time with their family, fucking blah, 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 blah. Live streaming doesn't work so well in the summertime. If you're an East Coaster, you guys get a lot more snow than I get. Live streaming in the wintertime to keep your channel relevant as a motorcycle, motovlog, whatever it might be, is thumbs up. But come summertime, yeah, no. Just do it sporadically.
Right.
Don't overdo it through the summer because you're going to watch your viewers just go downhill because everybody's got lives, right?
Yeah.
So take it from a guy that's been doing this for a long fucking time. Yeah, like wintertime, yeah, like by all means, like fucking everybody's cooped up in their homes, fucking it's cold as fuck outside, nobody's doing fuck all. It's the greatest fucking thing. It's like, yeah, but come summertime, just sporadically, man. Don't push yourself to have to do a live stream because you've only got 3 people watching you or whatnot, because people have lives, people want to go spend time with their families, go camping, go do whatever it is, ride their motorcycle, blah, blah, blah. So come the summertime, once the weather starts getting nicer, just start kind of tailing back your live streams a little bit because it'll do your channel more good than bad, right? Just from a personal, view of what I've seen in the last 6 years, right? I'm just, take it from a guy that's done it. He's done all the live streams and spent a lot of time in live streams and shit like that. Yeah, just... come summertime, don't expect a huge following because people they have lives. But come wintertime, when everybody's all bundled up and sitting in their homes and you got 6 feet of snow outside your door, yeah, they're all going to come and hang out for sure because it's a virtual bar or a virtual hangout, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. Come spring, once that snow melts and you can pull the motorcycle out and fucking fire it up and go for a rip, yeah.
That's right.
So just keep that in the back of your mind when you're doing live streams and shit, right? Just giving you a little heads up on that one. So
this guy doesn't have a life, so I can join in most Tuesdays.
A lot of people don't have lives, but it's just I'm the same way. I don't have a life. If I'm not out riding, I'll join the live stream. But chances are, come summertime, if the sun is still up and it's still warm outside, I'll be out ripping. And up here in Canada, at 9:31 p.m. Come June 20th, the longest day of the year, it'll still be sunny outside. So, I'll be on the bike ripping.
I do the nighttime for the kids, so I put them to bed, and then I'm good for hanging out at the house, but I'm not really going anywhere. So I'm usually available for live streams. I'm happy to be on it. It's a lot of fun. I do appreciate the invite. Thank you, guys.
They are great, and fucking Tomek, thanks for throwing up the link and allowing me.
Yeah, Tomek.
No,
and just giving my view of the shit.
We'll have like a featured couple guests come on that we invite. We'll have a thumbnail up, and then like halfway through the show, we'll throw a link out, and whoever's in the chat can join in.
Yeah,
and it's a good time, So. Well,
I've got,
see what happens.
I've been doing this for a long time.
We don't know yet.
I've got a lot of stories to share with those whole YouTube algorithm and how things have changed since my time of starting and enjoying it. And
you've been here a while. You've been here 6 years? I've only been
6 years, man.
Since like a little bit over a year now. So not that long.
Like I said, I've seen a lot of faces come and go. I've seen a lot of channels grow, become monetized, and then they thought they were going to make
right.
big money, and they just quit. They're just like, well, I'm not making the money I thought I was going to make, and it unfortunately doesn't work that way. It's a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work to get to where Blockhead, Shade Tree, Sub D, Baker X Derrick, fucking Do It With Dan.
I'm gonna get me a gold cap tooth. I'm gonna get me a gold wing.
Yeah, get you an old used gold wing
slogan.
Yeah,
what's up, weirdos?
Yeah, you're gonna be a swamp wizard.
A swamp wizard. Yeah, exactly. It's
no, I know.
You gotta be around for a long time.
You need something that draws people in, and I think that's what has to shine through, like a personality for sure. You can't just.
You have to have a personality.
I'm shit out of luck there.
But the problem
anybody
is,
can do that.
The no personality motovlog.
That's me. That's me.
But the other thing about the motovlog community is it's also very saturated. You got to remember that. It's a very saturated fucking community. There's a lot of people that come in and then they die off, right? And I see it, like I said, I've been doing this for 6 years. They come in, they die off. They come in, they die off.
It's called marriage.
They build quick and then it dies off, and then you don't see nothing from them for a while.
You said marriage. So, my wife bought me my green screen for Christmas last year.
See, that's love right there. That's forever. That's forever.
Yeah, she felt bad about telling me that I was never going to make it as a YouTuber.
That's my whole family.
People right at work. I'm a YouTuber. You do what?
I get beat down constantly. Like, what the hell are you doing on YouTube, you idiot?
Dude, I tell people at work every day, I don't need this job. I'm a kept man. My wife makes way more money than I do.
Well, it's a fun hobby. Honestly, at first it was kind of like, it's a big, a lot of work. But I love looking back at some of my videos, and it's kind of fun now. And who knows what it's going to become? Eventually maybe it kicks off, maybe it doesn't. But right now,
you never know. You might get that one video that's going to get you that 1,000
the
subscribers.
best part is, look at this. I meet random people that have the same interests, motorcycling through motovlogging.
That's the biggest thing that I've got.
Road Rash HD, I met you tonight. I met Wally only a few weeks ago. I
met you before, Tomek, because I was sub to you, Tomek. So obviously I met you through a military biker. Would be where I met you through Scouts Adventures military biker.
Steve.
Yeah. Because I was already sub to you. That's how I was able to find your live stream, because I was already sub to you. So that would be where I would have met you through. But the reality is I've met a lot of great people on YouTube. Like, they're all awesome people. What I really hate to see is guys that have gone out and spent the time to make great content, and then they don't get what they expect from YouTube per se. Like, I should be rich, blah, blah, blah. And then they just give up. They're like, I give up. I don't want to do this no more. And then they just disappear. And I'm like, dude, you were making good content, but then you just decided to just throw it all away. But you know what? The reality is life happens.
Honestly, my goal right now is to get a few bucks back to pay for a GoPro. That's about it.
Well, you better invest in a credit card, because shit. That'll take you about 3 years. As long as you make $100 every 6 months, you're golden. You should be able to get a new GoPro in about 3 years.
There we go.
My ROI is like 7 years.
Oh, I know. Mine too. All right, guys. I'm ready to go.
Thanks again, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Make sure you end your live stream. Click the little button down in the corner that says end live stream. We're actually at the top of the top.
We'll keep going, right?
Yeah, all right. All right, thanks, guys. You all have a good night. It was a pleasure meeting you. Let's do this again soon.
All right, well,
good meeting you tonight.
Yep. Good night, boys.
All right, man.